Alrighty. Welcome everybody back to the second session of Scuffed Rolls Revived, where me and a bunch of my goober friends play Pathfinder 2nd Edition. Uh, Without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. In our last session, you awoke at the beginning of your ends. At the shores of beginnings, as you later found out, its ashen shores cresting the crystalline-filled pool that lied beneath. The nature of its strange atmosphere an enigmatic wonder, though thankfully such a strange awakening was not experienced alone, as it seemed a few others had wound up in these new strange circumstances alongside you, though their methods of biting the dust seemed to differ greatly from one another. Yet wasting little time, you and your new revived fellows were able to gain your bearings quickly. Whatever worries or questions the strange predicament that had arose, only quashed by your rather enthusiastic Kenku's outlook on the situation and Corin's cold but logical conclusions. That gave possible answers to where you were. Yet it seems you were not without guides, as the crows that lurked the chamber seemed to hold the gift of speech, yet not so much in the regards of conversation, granting some insight in your means of leaving the pools somewhat safely, as it seemed. To them, you certainly were not what they had initially expected you as. Floating corpses, that is. Minds still muddled with questions and hungry for answers, you trekked upwards alongside the strange stream's stone's passage, taking heed to the deep crow's warning. Yet it seems as though the path seemed truthful, and where it led, it did not prove entirely free of danger, as those leading the group soon discovered a group of discarded deep crow corpses. The exact details of their deaths unable to be determined from a distance, yet the fact of them being there not something you could ignore. The group wariness and guard was soon justified, as crashing down from the ceiling came a pair of large and infectious leech-like creatures, their ravenous and tooth-filled maws hungry for the blood of your rebeating hearts. Though thankfully, it seems, those of you that had awoken seemed familiar in the ways of defending themselves. Though the creature's infectious maws dug into the flesh of some, festering their wounds with their ichorous saliva, they were swiftly slain through your collaborative efforts. It seemed that though you had experienced death once, wounds hurt the same as ever. Yet such pain was welcome feeling, proof of your new reality that your return was no illusion. Yet such ponderings mattered little, as such wounds still needed tending after all. Though such processes were soon interrupted by the clatter of another grey leech corpse, and along with it, its slayer, the shoddy armor-clad knight that you would soon come to know as Han. Your discussions with him proved both fruitful and worrisome. Even though he answered some of your questions, it seemed as though the weary warrior had seen the same situation a great many times with others, in similar situation as you, his tone casting light on the grimness of the situation as he described your newborn revenants within the Misted Isle, a mysterious region of the revenant kin. Or not so quite, as it seemed to his description it housed both the living and revived, him among them. However, it seemed that only the revenants possessed the ability to leave without harm. Following Han after your discussion and he finishing his duties of tending with at least a portion of the Grey Leech infection, he led you out into the fog-swept and melancholically beautiful region of the Misted Isle. Its forests dotted by hinting ruins and strange stone and crystalline protrusions, all of which contained within the distant walls of fog that surrounded it. Yet sitting in the center of it beneath a great ridge and a ruined keep is a small hamlet of hope, like a flickering flame that threatened to go out at any moment. It was the small hamlet of Ashpoint. Following Han through the ridge and through the quiet forestry, you soon found your path, stepping past old flagstones and age-old structures and signs of the region's former glory, until you came upon the small hamlet of Ashpoint, its dirt and cobbled streets and structures in ill repair, though even so the more whole dwellings did indeed contain its small population that looked at your party with curious glances at best. You were led to the large stone temple in its near center, its dull blue stonework showing its age and history and the many nicks and damaged parts that dotted its surface. And its faded color, yet even so, it still seemed to stand proudly. And entering such a temple, we ended our previous session, the party coming to meet the graceful shrine guardian. As the last of your party descends down the stone stairway that wrapped around the temple shrine and encircled the cracked and damaged world vein and the pool it resided in, its stubborn brilliance allowed it to stand out from its otherwise rubble-dotted surroundings. We watch, however, as the foremost of our group, Gallon and Corn, as a brilliant pale light glows. God damn. I don't know what I was. Fuck. I should. Regardless. You guys are basically like walking down into the shrine temple. I I I wrote the intro like a few hours ago. I'm sorry, fellas, but or not hours ago, but later last night. But regardless, you're all watching and kind of proceeding down the temple stairway as Gowan and Corn are currently standing alongside the newly acquainted shrine guardian. She kind of has reached out her palms that we had last left off and kind of taken both their hands. And with it, a brilliant pale light seems to glow from her palms and into their forms. And with it, the festering and sickened wounds that they seem to possess seem to cleanse and close, and with it, their intermittent coughs and ragged breaths being silenced as well, as the sickness is purged from them and the light draws away similarly. Kind of taking a step back, as this almost as if like the sickness like fell from you. This light kind of that had entered along your forearms seems to recede back into the form the shrine guardian as she kind of takes a few small steps back before she's just standing beside the large central shrine in the center of the chamber. That should have cleansed those maladies. Though I have to say I must ask for your forgiveness, sirs. I'm sorry, but I cannot do anything for the wounds that you have sustained at the moment. Though I feel as though those wounds will close quite quickly while you reside here.
So, it's fun.
That's no problem at all, milady. I mean, you've already done enough for us. You have my thanks.
Well, you have no need to thank me, my sirs. My duty is here to serve you, after all.
If I may ask, what is your duty around here?
She kind of like turns and looks at the small Kenku who is kind of hopped down at this point. And as she does, you can see this kind of like kindred look kind of come across her face. And my duty here is quite simple. It's of course by no means as difficult or as troublesome as, of course, the many trials that I'm sure thou have suffered. But the people here have taken to calling me the Shrine Guardian. My duty is to tend to the shrine and its waters, and to serve the newborns and old-standing revenants that lie here. Thou among them.
Thank you for accepting us graciously into this hamlet. But when I died, things back where they were quite bad, and I hate to leave a place after just getting here, but do you know how we can go from here?
Of course. You're by no means bound here like some of the others. You, sirs, are, like any other Revan, gifted with the ability to traverse the mist. Though the difficulties used to be easier. Normally, you wouldn't have to have trekked all the way to the Misted Gate. She kind of like looks over at the cracked crystal in the center of the chamber, as if like referencing some nature of it that isn't quite obvious. The easiest way to leave the Misted Isle is, or I should say rather the only way, is through the Grey Gate. I sincerely apologize, sirs, that you have arrived at such a difficult time.
A difficult time, but why do you say that?
She kind of looks away and... Well, I guess I shouldn't say... Forgive me. I shouldn't say entirely difficult. It's... not exactly quite what it once was. And I, for many reasons, feel sorry for those new arrivals, such as thouselves.
Miss Shrine Lady, I have a personal question if I could ask it of you.
What question does thou have, little bird?
Do you happen to know, like, all the revenants that wander here? Do they often meet you personally, or I'm wondering if you might have seen a friend or two of mine.
I do take nature, or some pride in making my attempts at remembering the names of all the revenants that arrive here. It is my duty, after all. And I would appreciate knowing your names as well. But...
Oh, well, I'm sorry, miss. I'm genuine Bird Eye.
It is a pleasure to meet your acquaintance, Genuine. She kind of gives a small curtsy. Kind of looking back at
we have Nick here. Knick. That's what it is. Knick.
He kind of just looks around. Gives a wave.
He's a bit quiet.
And then we have the rest of the party, too. They'd like to introduce themselves.
Oh, yeah, no. Just Gowan is fine. Pleasure to meet you.
The name's Corn.
I give a little like bow and I'm like, Torah.
Thou honors me with such formalities. Normally, people are much more shaken with this given circumstance. But I'm happy to see that you're handling it all quite well. However, depends on whomst you speak of.
They're pretty distinct. Big ol' orc fella. His name is Rick we call him Rick the Pick. He's a very distinct fellow. And also Oscar. Maybe Oscar Willow something. I can't remember what his last name is exactly. I apologize. I'm wondering if you may have seen these two fellas. They were with me in the end, but we don't need to talk about that.
Those that you speak of died as well.
Yeah, it was a big old cluster death. I'm just wondering if you've heard of them or seen them maybe? It'd be nice to reconnect, if you will.
You can see she kind of like ponders and a tinge of like almost what you can kind of recognize as like remorse kind of comes across her otherwise like porcelain features, and as she kind of like pulls back. I'm sorry. I do not know those that you speak of. You have my condolences.
No use for it. I'll see him eventually.
Such positivity is rare to see. Such that thou possesses is... well, some could learn from it. She kind of looks up at Han.
Ooh.
Well,
Little shade throwing.
Thank you, Miss Shrine Lady. It was nice to meet you, and it was very helpful. answering my question.
Pleasure meeting you as well, little bird. But I'm here eternally. If any of you have any questions, I'm at your service.
Do you want to go first, Tora?
Oh, I was stretching.
Okay, I'll go first then. I believe I do have a question, Miss. I'm sure that everyone that ends up here asks it at some point, but do you know if there's a reason that we specifically we became revenants? Is it random? Is it fate? Do the gods have a hand in it?
That question is complex, though it is a rare one. To say the least, I do not understand the exact interworkings of why you're here, but I can certainly say it by no means is random. A hand in it is in it, and whether or not you'd want to believe it to be fate or your personal gods are your own. Though that still remains a mystery to many as well.
I have a question.
Well, you're welcome to speak thou's mind.
Well, you said you were here eternally. What? Do you just sit by the shrine all day and answer the questions of all the revenants that walk by? Because that seems very boring of a lifestyle.
Thou speaks of my duties like, well, I would find myself bored. But thou's not wrong. I do tend to the shrine at all hours of the day. Though this used to be a much livelier place. And it's not as though I'm not without conversation. I'm speaking to interesting folk like yourselves right now.
Earlier, when you were speaking about the Great Gate, you made it sound like it might be difficult for us to return and pass through the mist, as you called it. Is there any reason for that?
Thou is not entirely wrong. The main difficulties with the Misted Isles is certainly, at this point, leaving it. Certainly, thou are welcome to leave through the Grey Gate, though it is where exactly the mist will take you are unforeseeable, sadly. In the past, there used to be a way that, well, to travel to the other world veins around the world, or through the continent of Gothric. Though our vein here has been severed, and now the only means of leaving is through the gate. Returning, on the other hand, is a much simpler matter, at least speaking from my point of view. As you already know, revenants are the only ones who are capable of leaving the Misted Isle. But it isn't to say that they are not the only ones to enter it, as I'm sure you've likely seen that there are many humans here. Well, or unrevived. The mist, though random, you can see she kind of ponders for a moment as if trying to find the correct word to describe it. It wanders, to put it quite simply, and finds or stays in certain areas. Some folk merely wander in here by accident, though that is a rarity, I should say. But for revenants, it's a much more guaranteed matter, such as thouselves. You, among many, have a unique connection to this place. Much the same as this roots into the, and she kind of gestures to the massive crystal behind her. revenants possess the ability to, how should I say, call themselves back, or in some ways call the mist to them. Though the process takes some time, but it should improve in at least efficiency as you become more familiar with the process, though it's not entirely possible on your own. As she kind of like reaches over to the waters beside her, you can see she kind of like reaches out or into it, and you can almost see these like strange globules of like light as her hands kind of go into the crystalline blue water. And as she does so, these like globules of light seem to almost like emanate and leave from the crystal in its center, drawing closer to her hands. And as they kind of form into this like small ball of light that she holds as she lifts her hand out of the water, you can see she is holding a collection of these small bluish shards of the crystal. Barely larger than like a nail. And as she kind of steps forward, she kind of reaches the palms out to each of you, handing a crystal to each one of you. No. Those are shard catalysts. The best way to describe the process is, though all revenants experience it quite differently, there are a few guarantees or necessary requirements to return. It must be late evening, the moon high in the sky, and thou must focus and meditate, bearing their catalyst on their person. The process takes minutes, but if you focus, you should find yourselves back here. I know it certainly sounds strange. Yes.
How can the moon be high if it's late evening?
She's referencing
Yes,
midnight. That's the best way. Without.
Okay.
Well, it's night, yeah, but.
I retract my question.
Do these things work more than one time, or do they like shatter after one use?
The crystals themselves shouldn't. They are quite durable. Unless thou are quite rough on them, I doubt that they would ever fail. But I would recommend not to lose them. They are quite small.
If no one else has any questions, I might have a few.
You can go first.
He's investigating.
Doing the questionnaire.
You call yourself the Shrine Guardian, Shrine Maiden, but what is your actual name?
I guess this is a small misunderstanding. That title is not one that I placed on myself. Thou, rather, the ones that dwell here, felt it suitable to me. The exact details of my name are foggy. I must apologize. I cannot adequately answer those questions.
Believe her about her memory loss?
What?
That she doesn't. Do I believe her that she doesn't actually remember her name?
You can roll a perception check. Secret.
Wow.
Whoa.
You can definitely tell that she like tries to remember, as if like she's like looking at some like, how should I say, like foggy memory. Like she's like trying to draw at strands that aren't actually there. You have no necessary. She has no like signs or otherwise that would show that she's like lying. So I understand that thou's positions can be quite strange. And as I had mentioned, I make no expectation of you, sirs, of forcing any action. I'm not quite sure how much Han described, but I hope that you have, whether your own information or perhaps you have come to realize that you hold a special position. You have been freed of the curse of the gate. It no longer chokes on the essence or your soul. You are effectively free from the penalties of time. But others see that as a curse fully on its own. But what is most important is you possess a new limitless potential. What? Did I say something weird?
No, I was laughing at Noah going,
It's like, whoa.
Mm.
Because it was like, whoa.
Speaking
Whoa.
of that limitless potential, what can we do with the collection of essence now that we can safely absorb it?
Well, it certainly seems as though thou seems quite familiar with the subject already. But I'd be happy to describe it the best of my abilities. As she kind of like steps over to a small like brazier that's kind of like burning in the by one of the walls, and as she's kind of like talking, you know, she starts to kind of like look around the flames and then back to you. Essence, as I'm certain thou already understands, is soul, life in all beings. Anything that breathes, lives, or otherwise is alive, possesses a small fragment, or their own essence, I should say. Beginning as a small kindling, but over time, it grows and fluctuates, ages and adapts. And as she's speaking, you notice like the flame, which is kind of just like embers at the moment, seems to kind of like build slowly as she speaks. However, like many things, or the gate, as you likely already understand, a curse placed on the mortal races and kin of Gothric, prevents the prolonged growth, chokes the life essence that you possess, and is why immortality is a curse you must bear. However, individuals like themselves possess, or no longer possess, such a curse, such a ceiling removed. Revenants now, holding the ability to consume the essence of other creatures. And like a flame with each side or new intake, your essence grows, along with your experiences, adaptations, battles, and trials. It builds and builds on itself. And as she's kind of describing this, you know, she puts like logs in the brazier that just kind of like builds the flame to new heights. However, the consumption and absorption of alien essence, regardless of the creature, is a changing process. Impossible for many, barely doable for revenants. You possess a resilience to the corruptive nature of this. However, regardless of how much you can maintain, it must be purified, returned to the world. But upon its return here, you keep a purified fragment of it. As she kind of like seems to almost be like poking and adjusting the flames, whatever like loose logs were kind of getting in the way or otherwise like smothering flames, she kind of like moves to almost like maximize what the kiln has to like offer before it's just this like almost like this pure radiant like light just kind of like burning within the brazier before kind of like stepping back. Thou possess a unique position, and it is my duty to make sure that you, whatever you claim, it is my duty to assure that thou does not fall to corruption, the inner dark that lies in the others that you will consume, if that is the path thou decides to take. There are many like yourselves who do not venture or take such risks. I understand some have nicknames for them, but they are the ones that reside here still. I'm certain you saw the young girl that was with me before. And she referenced the young revenant girl. But
You talk about that you have a duty. What gave you this duty?
since as far as I can remember, this shrine, this temple, my earliest memories were within it. Though I can remember that there was a before, but the exact details of who or why I'm here are lost to me, sadly. I've been here for so long, but it is not as though I deny my duty. It is something that must be done, and one I, if I may humbly say, quite enjoy. Without me, this place would have crumbled to ruin quite a long time ago. She kind of like shoots a small smile, almost as if with the backdrop of the small rubbled and like cracked temple that is in pretty heavy like disrepair, but it seems to be holding on. She looks at you. Genuine.
How long have you been here? You say you've been a long time, but has this place always been here?
I'm sorely sorry. I'm flattered by these personal questions, but I feel at a loss for words. I lack the answers. The exact date of as far as my memory can recall, that is lost to me. Time here, as you probably have come to understand, is different. It flows thicker than it does outside. But I would wager a few centuries, if not more. That is not entirely true. I feel it's been far, far longer, but you can see she's like trying to like, she wants to give answers, but it's like she just doesn't have them.
So what you're saying is we should just keep asking questions.
That's a good point there, Genuine. I do have another. Did you die?
I understand that I am no revenant. I do not possess the unique role that you hold. though death does not seem unfamiliar with me, I know that I am no human. Not in the sense that you are.
Well, me too.
However, I'm not sure. I hope that answers those questions sufficiently, however pitiful the answer may be.
Thank you, Miss Shrine Lady. It's very helpful of you. Well,
Corin,
now
are
what?
you continuing? Do you have more questions you have to ask before I ask my next one?
I have plenty of questions I would like to ask, but you can continue while I pop
Take
through my
turns.
notes here.
Well, you can continue. I think I can save mine for the end.
Alright, has anyone tried to... Well, maybe I should reword this. Do you know about the current landscape of the gods that reside within the world we live in?
It's quite embarrassing, and you can see she kind of like fidgets. It's quite tragic to say that I have a rather frail understanding of much that goes on outside this temple. Or my knowledge ends at least conclusively within the Misted Isle. But I have seen glimpses through the waters of at least how it is outside. Though it's difficult to pinpoint exactly where we are. As I said, time is murky. She's basically saying that like it's like she's looking through like a window disconnected from her own, or like she's looking into the world, but it's like difficult to get the conclusive. It's like glimpses, if that makes any sense. So how those kind of string together is difficult. But I have heard word and speak from revenants like yourselves. I have a basic understanding.
Does any of that mean anything to you?
I understand then that they have left to Elysium, if that's correct, or still standing.
Well, all but one, or so said.
I guess, like, you can see, like, she doesn't seem to comprehend. I guess, like, the detail of what you're saying. All but one. Forgive me, you can see she's a bit embarrassed from the questions, but this is all quite embarrassing. I thought I could be more help. Your inquisitiveness is a rarity, or your group, I should say. It's quite refreshing, but it is shedding quite a bit of light of how much I don't know.
Well, I would like to try something, and then that will be my final question. Does the name Ariel mean anything to you?
You can see, it's like she's, as you, like, say the name, it's, it does spark a reaction from her, as though she has heard it before, like it's very familiar to her. You can almost see this, like, this very strange expression come across her faces. as she almost seems to like mutter the name under her breath, like it's something so familiar to her, but I would be lying if I said it didn't have some. It's strange. I don't know.
I believe that answer is satisfactory.
What name did you say, Alex?
I said Ariel.
Oh,
Ariel?
I'll type it in the chat.
Yo,
Who's that?
Neptune's daughter. Oh, not that one. It's her bow.
That's Uriel.
Is anybody trained
Is it
in
Uriel?
religion?
No, I was saying Uriel.
No,
from
that's
Neptune's daughter.
it's Ariel.
Uriel Septon?
Yo,
I am
Ariel's
not trained
bow,
in
I'm
religion, no.
not.
Sunbow
Yeah.
itself. I'm not trained.
Okay.
And
You can almost
Control
see-
F the Word Bible.
Oh,
There we go.
forgive me. You can see she kind of like composes herself for a second, as if like she's. That was a gut punch. She got her on that one. You can definitely see she's like shaken up somehow. But it's as though she doesn't know why. I just forgive me. Does thou have any more questions?
Please forgive me if I seem like I'm rejecting your kindness or the wisdom you're giving me, but it's hard to remain composed after experiencing this and hearing all of this. But I know that I have to get home. I know you talk about the only way to leave is at the gate. If I may ask, could you point me in the direction of this gate and tell me if any danger's in my way?
No. Please, no need to. I understand this is all quite stressful. Your last memories, as I'm certain for all of you, were unpleasant. An unpleasantry that I'm sorry that I cannot relate. And it's only something that I've seen. But by no means are you going to be kept here. Thou's exit or way out of here is what would be south, as she kind of gestures to the in the direction where you guys had seen the gate. There's a long river not far from here. Thou could easily follow it downstream, and it should lead to the edges of the region. But it would take some time. Perhaps thou could look to finding horses. I understand there is still a stable master here.
Thank you.
What is it again, little bird?
Are they revenant horses? I know we saw a revenant bird on the way in, but I'm just wondering.
Thou is quite perceptive. Animals or creatures, though, can possess a similar circumstance as you, they are different. Their existence much more limited. The curse that they bore before was already slim, so the removal of it has not changed a great deal. Whether or not there are revenant horses, if you would like to refer to them that way. I cannot see a more fitting, but I am unsure. That is something you would have to find out with the stable master himself.
That'd be awesome.
But I understand that if there are duties that you must see to beyond here, perhaps it would be best to tend to your wounds first.
As I am
Oh, that's right.
fucking
You're like
really
dying.
hurt.
Thorin is just dying on the floor.
You can see, as long as you are within the Isles, your wound should close very quickly. The environment here seems to have a positive effect.
That is welcoming.
Is that effect exclusive to revenants, or is it for anyone?
There are a great deal of liberties afforded to revenants here. However, not as though we're complaining. There are many here who greatly appreciate the solemnity that the region provides them. So yeah, it's just for revenants.
Corin, I can take a look at those wounds before I go find a horse.
Do you need to? I believe I can just take a rest here tonight. It'll be fine tomorrow.
If they close quickly enough, then sure.
Are we sticking together? That'd be fun. I always run better with a crew anyway.
You said you're going to go find a horse. Are you intent on leaving right now?
You guys hear like a loud crow or cawing kind of coming from above as you notice, like, in a portion where the dome ceiling has kind of caved in and broken, there are a collection of deep crows just kind of like perched, kind of looking down.
I do intend to leave as fast as I can.
One of
Got here.
oh, sorry, go ahead.
We just got here, Tora. We need to see the sights, and I don't know. Miss Shrine Lady, what's there to do for fun around here? It looked kind of dreary on the way in, but I always know how to liven up a mood.
Exactly as to what correlates to fun, I believe you already understand the answer. However, as for entertainment facilities, perhaps thou selves could find comfort within the bottle of a cup. I understand that there is a tavern of sorts within Ash Point. Or so I think. And she kind of like looks for Han's help, and you fellas could go over to the dead end. It ain't the best or prettiest place, but it's something.
Well, you can find alcohol everywhere in the world, it seems.
Otherwise,
What do you say, Tora?
if you were expecting some sort of fair to be around, there isn't one. I guess you'll have to find your own entertainment.
I know a thing or two about entertainment. But, Tora, are you really gonna leave? We stick together. We can be a little flock, a crew, a band, if you will. It would be great. We did so well against the worm leech things.
Your lively attitude reminds me of someone quite dear to me, and I wouldn't mind being with you longer than as long as I could, but I truly do have to go. When I last left home, it was burning. I can't stay here.
May I ask where you're from? I'm a bit of a well-traveled bird. I might know a thing or two about where you're going or where you've been.
I like look around the party, kind of like scanning them. Would any, by looks, I don't have anything in society, so this probably won't be good. But could I like see if any of them are related at all to like the Empire of Gothric in any way?
Go ahead and make a
World Anvil, so I remember.
go ahead and make a make a make a per make a perception check.
Perception? Okay.
Yeah. Secret.
Secret? Okay.
Yeah.
So do I do self-roll as secret when I
You
roll
want to
it?
do blind.
Yeah, blind.
Blind.
Blind
Oh,
GM
blind.
roll.
Oh, blind. Oh,
GM roll.
blind GM roll. Okay. And then I'll do that.
Okay. Looking around the collection of individuals you have amongst you, you have a the Kenku and the Rat folk amongst your party can be from likely anywhere, but they are most definitely not natural-born residents of Gothric, as that is largely resided or reserved for humans generally. But you do see elven traits within Corrin, though it is guised or masked underneath his tiefling appearance. However, and additionally, you do also notice the more pallid or pale complexion and black, or otherwise like hair type of the more Gothric, cooler lands within Gowan. Though much of it is shielded beneath his armor, it is still something you can spot, as well as the make of his armaments.
I'm afraid not right now.
Well, listen, I'm sure some of us here also share the sentiment of wanting to return. I mean, I'm sure we'd be able to accompany you.
Yeah, don't want to get hit by the door on the way out. Looks a little hard to see on the way to the gate. This thing.
If you were to travel with me, you'd have my gratitude. I'm like, not like meanly, but I'm just gonna like keep on looking like between like Corrin and Gowan kinda. And then I'll look at Genuine like
It's
we should rest though. I suffered a bit of a drainage thingy in my chest when they poked their mouths there. I think rest could do me some good. Oh no.
Oh,
Gonna bug with stuff.
forgive
This
the
music has been kind of hitting lately though. It's kind of cool.
I
Well, I
That was
don't
my-
have anywhere to be personally. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, there's nothing to apologize for, sirs. However, I'm certain that those minds are certainly muddled by a great many questions of the mind that I cannot hope to have the answers for, as they are likely solutions to which only you can find. I would have to concur that perhaps it would do good to find thyself some rest. You've had quite a rude awakening. However, I must commend you on handling it so well. And almost like interrupting her mid-sentence, you notice like the flutter of wings as a pair of deep crows kind of like flutter down into the chamber, flying right next to each other as they seem to be bearing a almost like a bundle of feathery black objects clutched in their talons as they kind of flutter down to the shrine guardian. And as she kind of like turns to the birds.
I'll be right back.
I can't make a crow noise, but they fucking screech.
Yo.
This one has stopped moving. Not moving. Not moving. A 10. As they seem to be fluttering and... Oh, heavens, what had happened here? And she kind of like takes a step forward and reaches out her hands, and the birds kind of drop a bundle of what looks to be a single large, headless, or the head of a deep crow that has been like detached and it is bundled up, kind of held, and along with it a bunch of smaller ones. It's the same ones that you guys saw within the tunnels beside the pools of beginning.
Oh.
She kind of like seems to bring the corpses close and almost seems to kind of clutch them endearingly before pacing over to the pool in the center of the room. It seems you have found an end to your duty. And she kind of like lets them go into the water that kind of surrounds the pillar, and as they just kind of these blacken, and now that you are so close to them, you notice that the birds have a very like tight, almost like skeletal head, as though like there's barely like any skin on it. It's almost like it's just like skull. Uh, uh, not with the birds that are currently like flying right now, but the birds that she kind of like had just dropped into the water seem to have lost a great deal of their like feathers and otherwise, and were basically falling to little more than like bones, as if they had no filling to them in the first place. And as she kind of drops the bones into the water, they just sink into the murky darkness below. I thank you for returning them to me. You may return to thy duties. They kind of squawk in in acceptance before kind of like fluttering off with the compatriots that lie at the roof. I must apologize for that interruption.
I remember those. We saw them upon waking up.
Yes, they do try their best to be as helpful as they can. Quite dutiful creatures.
Yes, they pointed us in the right direction. I'm sorry.
Tora,
Yes.
I don't mean to exactly rain on your parade of your home, but I'm not sure how much you know about revenants. But I doubt those you knew before will welcome you with such open arms, now that you've come back.
That's preposterous. My
It all
family.
depends on the people you've made relationships with. Obviously, it depends on the person, but I can say that overall, we're not quite liked out there in the real world.
I don't care if strangers like me or if people I met once or twice hold disdain for me. But I know that those I hold close will accept me as they always have. Sorry, I try to remain calm, but this is hard.
I don't mean to accuse those that you hold close. I would just like to present it as a problem that would arise when trying to get to those who are close to you. What Genuine was talking about, staying in a group, I don't necessarily think that's a bad idea, especially with such a giant target on our backs.
I agree.
Tora, are you sure you wouldn't like to leave at our earliest convenience? I mean, sounded like you were fixed on that, but it seems you've had a change of heart.
Well, if If I was going by myself, I think I would have left this room several minutes ago. But Genuine said that we could be together, and when you're in a group of people, it's selfish to only think of yourself. Some of you are a lot more wounded than I am, and are dealing with a lot more than I am, at least physically. I try not to be selfish, so I would remain with you until we can go.
Well, I myself don't have much really to return to, but if I can have some sort of purpose in whatever life this is now, I think helping you get back to whatever you left behind, I'd be happy enough to aid you in that.
Thank you, Gowan. That means a lot.
I know we've only just met, but really, we don't have many connections in a place like this, and the fact that we woke up on a beach somewhere together, I suppose that's enough for us to stick with one another.
I tend to agree. But I think we should get to that tavern? Was that what it was called? I think we should get there now. That's where we provide entertainment for you, Genuine.
Well, I can always provide the entertainment if we find ourselves lacking of sorts.
I look forward to it. I look at the Shrine Maiden. I give a deep bow, like I'm 45
Oops.
degrees kind of in there.
Didn't mean to roll. Sorry.
She kind of keeps her hands at her like kind of clasped in front of her waist, basically at like all times, but she kind of gives you a formal curtsy as well. I hope you find the answers that you are looking for. I will keep all of that on my prayers.
Thank
If
you.
ever, I will be eagerly awaiting your return.
And I exit. Corn exits.
Yeah, I
We
exit,
leave.
I exit the scene.
Exit
sure.
stage left.
Bandits seem to spawn along the northeastern
No!
side.
No.
They all have glowing armor.
No, I was trying to. I couldn't remember a quote from the Skyrim like loading screen where it like pops in like a fucking.
Bandits are dotted all around the road.
Alduin, the World Eater.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know you don't know what
Fins.
this creature is yet because you haven't gotten to that part of the quest, but Alduin the World Eater.
No.
Isn't it cool how the first Skyrim like thingy and like the loading thing is always Alduin? How'd they do that?
Yeah.
How
You
neat.
all
Oh.
you all kind of make your way up the steps and back down, stepping out from the temple and walking past Han, who just kind of like watches you guys as you make your way out. But he seems to stay behind. Soon enough, you guys are all standing along the. What?
What did you say?
So you're saying Han is going solo?
Oh,
I needed to make the joke once. I'm sorry.
He's a
So
beater.
he's writing in fucking he's writing in there's a tally right next to your name now.
Bonus damage times 3 next
Yeah.
fight for Genuine. Takes 3 times the damage.
But yeah, regardless, you find yourself stepping back out onto the dirty cobble pathway that runs along the central courtyard of the hamlet of Ash Point. Surrounding you are both ruined buildings and otherwise, and some that seem to be having some life to them. Directly across to your looking down, you can see the large semi-L-shaped 2-storied structure, easily among the larger ones that is the Dead End Tavern, or so you suspect. Somewhere along the township, you can hear the distant sound of whinnying along with the rhythmic sound of a distant hammer on metal. But otherwise, it seems to be relatively quiet.
Do any of you actually know where the Dead End Tavern is? Because
You can see it.
I don't feel like wandering.
Right,
No,
right,
never
right
mind.
there.
It's right there.
I'm a little blind, if you
That
will.
large,
I apologize.
sort of L-shaped building, 2 stories.
Well,
There's a sign that says it right there.
thank you, Gowan. I
About
No
15
problem.
feel
feet
idiotic
from it.
now.
Yeah.
Thank you for making me feel like
I've got a sort of a higher vantage point, so I can see it better.
that. Well, that's true. I am very small in comparison. Yo, height check.
Should we make our
6'2".
way over there now? 6'4".
Dang.
I'm a barbarian. I
Corn's
gotta be
already
big.
heading. Corn's
Oh my
already heading
gosh.
towards it.
Ah.
4'7".
Corin kind of leading the pack as he makes his way over to the Dead End Tavern. All of you kind of just keeping pace behind. Soon enough, you approach the otherwise rather mundane, or it seems to have been kept in somewhat well repair. But as far as you can see, it seems to be a relatively general looking building. With this kind of like
Wow.
pointed and otherwise tan coloration over the entirety of it, but it is by no means a very high-end place. It's very humble in its construction, and it seems as though time or whatever like trials this place has endured, it is also endured, but it seems to still be standing. The large wooden door from which the sign kind of hangs above stands eagerly welcoming. You don't really hear much sound coming from within, other than the sound of like idle, like the occasional like bump or like movement of metal. As Corin kind of enters into the building, the rest of you soon behind him. As you walk into a first floor that matches the outer structure, this long stretching or this wide L-shaped main area that is filled with roughly about a dozen round wooden tables that have a mixed assortment of chairs that seem to kind of like mismatch with one another, from stools to more wooden chairs to even just some cushion chairs that have been kind of just like placed by them to act as as filler seats to the tables, or otherwise as if they had taken or scavenged what wasn't being used to use here. As far as you can see, there doesn't seem to be any other individuals within the tavern besides yourselves. Kind of looking around it directly ahead of you, there is a large L-shaped island that seems to stretch out from the back and kind of come forward directly ahead of where the door enters into. With no stools in the front of it, however, there does seem to be an array of both dusty or kind of like ill-kept like alcohol bottles and barrels that are kind of like decorated behind it, and an assortment of hanging like mugs and glasses that kind of hang over top the countertop. But you can see there's a pulled back like curtain directly to the left of all that back wall, where you can hear the sound of like somebody shuffling from behind it, presumably whoever owns the location. Horn, as you enter, beyond the facet of freaky and alcohol stained floorboards, there isn't anything that immediately stands out within the chamber.
Well, this is a very quaint place.
Did anyone else? Is his like camera like?
Oh,
Oh, no.
He's kind of robot-y now.
He's a little roboto.
Yeah,
Mr.
everyone except Noah's got like 240p for me. Noah's pretty clear.
Am I-
It's my
Alex
phone.
is dying.
He's
Oh no.
he's pixel bending.
Can't really hear you, Alex.
You're frozen?
Corin. No.
Yo, he got hit by paralysis. Or paralyzed.
Paralysis.
He is paralyzed.
He's having an
Someone hit him
episode
with the
again.
thunder wave.
Oh, he's just gone.
He did.
Corin, no.
I don't know if you want to like pause the recording.
Yeah, I got it. One
I'm
second.
gonna go get my dinner.
Hang
real
on.
quick.
But
Wait for Alex to figure out why he died. Wait, is Noah frozen? Oh no, I thought
No,
Noah
I'm
was
not
frozen,
frozen.
but I saw him
I'm
blink.
staying resolute.
I
haven't
wonder
been
if,
in an establishment
alcohol-
like this.
I wonder if it numbs the same after death as it did before.
I wonder if there are card players in this afterman.
As you guys kind of say some stuff as you walk in, you can hear like a cluttering of pans in the back before like a few footsteps kind of come stomping around the corner and kind of like yanking the tarp to this. Well, I be damned. There's some people here.
Hello.
Hello.
Well,
Hello there.
well, hi there. What can I get you folks? As kind of like stepping out is this very like redheaded and kind of like I forget what they call it, where they kind of like bring their hair like the top layer. She has like very long hair that's kind of been like not necessarily like ponytailed, but like the top layer has been like tied off at the top of it. That just kind of comes along the back. She's wearing this kind of like leather jerkin along with like cloth garments and like that has been looks as though it's been very like dirtied by like soot and like stains that she's been as she's been like working back there, but she hasn't had an apron on quite yet. But kind of stepping forward. Well, I certainly wasn't expecting to be seeing any folks in here anytime soon, but and you lot certainly aren't familiar faces.
Ah, we're the new people in town.
She kind of sits on the counter before. I won't go as far as to say this is a town. Be a pretty downtrodden town, but
Man,
we do the
there's
best
all
to make the
kinds.
liveliest part of it. Well, what can I get you to drink or eat? I got a few things cooking back there, or trying to set them up to cook, but
Do you normally cook your alcohols or liquors?
she looks at you confused as if like she just heard like the dumbest fucking question.
Wow.
What?
Um,
No, I don't normally cook my food. Or not my food, my... God, your question
now
confused
I look at
the
her
shit out
like
of me.
she's the dumbest thing ever. Haha, the tables have turned.
I will cook you into a cherry pie. I swear to God. No, I'm kidding.
I don't know if Kenku cherry pie would taste very good, madam.
No, I don't cook my alcohol into any of my foods. I'm not one of them batshit crazy southerners from Set. I don't wrangle with that. Just meats here.
Huh, well, I have been to Set. They do have some good food, I will say.
Yes, they gotta have that to outweigh the shitty environment, but
Well, I like that too. What does that say about me?
I am not.
Can I have a drink, miss?
Well, you certainly can. What are we having? Just a flagon of ale?
Hmm.
You know, I'll just take a water.
You're welcome to go fetch it from the river.
Right then.
Oh,
I,
Could you get
I'll
me
take an
started
ale.
with... Oh,
She kind of
yeah,
takes
could
a
you get-
cup down and hands it to you.
Could you get me started with
An empty
corn.
cup.
2 flagons of ale, please?
That'll be 2 copper pieces.
Ah,
We might, most of us might be dead, but we still take money here.
what
Just
do you do with money?
As she kind of like takes your coins and then a few moments later puts forward 2. She gives you 1 like flagon of ale, but she just like seems to be waiting by for you to finish it before to like fill it up again.
Oh, it's okay.
Yeah.
I see.
I put 1 copper piece down as well.
Thank you so much, sugar. As she kind of like looks back, pulls back another flagon. Not cooked. Here's a flagon of uncooked ale just for you. And she
Oh,
Pours a
my
cup.
favorite.
Did you go to get
She
water,
pours me
Corn?
like a little, like a cup or whatever.
Did you
No.
walk your ass out to the river?
No, I'm just gonna drink out of my fucking water skin.
Bitch.
I fear I
So-
may already have my answer, but do you have any tea?
Ah,
Oh, come on, listen to me, fellas. I only got alcohol, meat, and mashed potatoes cooking in the back. Now, if you want something with water, I only got enough to clean my pans back there and boil something. And I wouldn't recommend drinking it, to be honest. The bucket's not the best. But, I ain't got a
You
clue
can
what this
boil
tea
water,
stuff.
though?
While I could. But,
That's enough for me.
the
Corn,
bucket's
do you need
kind
to
of
go outside
gross.
and get
Are
water?
you sure?
I guess I could grab water. I have water in this flask here, in this water skin.
Listen,
I was
most of the
gonna-
fellas that come in here generally just want to drink themselves into a stupor, but I guess there's a new market for having water. I'll put it on the list.
I
Sorry,
don't know where that
fellas.
come in from.
I mean, it's only a necessity to live.
Do we need that anymore? Really?
That's
I
a
guess-
good question. Do we need to like eat and drink to survive?
We should have asked the shrine lady this question.
Well, I certainly still do. I'm just stuck here, but I'm not dead. Uh,
Wait, you aren't a revenant? I thought Han was the only non-dead person around.
no, Hans.
Non-dead.
Han's not the only not dead person around. He's just the only lonely fuck around.
Well,
Sitting there brooding all
alright.
day, scaring the kids with his looks. Whatever. Yeah, no, he's not the only undead person around. There's plenty going. But don't get too excited. There's a lot of dead people, just like you. It's a welcoming environment here, or at least I'm trying to. But apparently, water's a necessity for customers. I don't have a lot, but I will put it on the list just for you two. I don't know what in the fuck this tea is, but I will certainly. Does it need water?
Yes, you boil water and you put the leaves of different
What?
flowers and plants in, and
You
it
drink
gives it
leaves?
flavor. I'll be right back with some of those products. I can.
Well,
I'll leave the drinking and getting in a stupor to you two. That's the point at Gowan and
I take off my
Anyway.
full helmet and start gulping.
Going. That's not grafted to your head?
No, it's not. I don't take it off often, so wouldn't blame you for thinking that. But no, it's not.
Huh. That's strange.
Oh shit.
well, you've
And-
got a lot to. I don't see why you're holding holding all that within a helmet all the time, sugar. And she kind of gives you a wink.
Oh,
Ooh.
damn.
I, mean,
But you could
I look
do.
like I've been awake for 3 days, but yeah, I'll take it.
She was just about to comment on how you look. Though shitty.
Oh, and I should describe something now that I took off my helmet. You see that around my neck, in the middle of it, you'd see sort of like reddish black abrasive mark that's like 2 inches thick, maybe, that goes around the whole circumference of my neck, and it has little cracks and a little bit of glowing in it. That you would recognize as my death mark.
Going. I pull back my collar. We're twins.
Well, I'll be damned. Well, our marks look quite similar, don't they?
Huh. What did yours in? If I may be so forward to ask.
Well, I've appreciated your comeliness so far, genuine, but I'm not exactly sure if I'm ready to disclose that information to you
Well,
at this point.
I'll open up. I feel very
No offense, I
very
mean, there's
interesting.
lots of conversation we can get to in here, but maybe we could warm up to it.
Well, if we want to warm up to anything, I'll have you know that someone got a little too close with an axe on my end. I may have greased the wrong palms, but there it went.
Horrifying.
Yes, it was quite horrifying to be on the receiving end. Don't
Yeah.
try it. It's not fun.
One of the more unique icebreakers I've ever heard, but to each their
I
own.
can't hold my alcohol.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? I'll just leave this here. It's almost empty anyway, and you need another flagon. So she sets an almost empty keg on the table. But I've got some dishes to wash. Sadly, I don't have a collection of workers to help keep this place in some working order. But I got a few dishes to wash up, and apparently another bucket of water to grab. I'll be in the back. Feel free to give me a holler if you're hungry or thirsty for anything. She just kind of like turns around and steps back into the back section of the tavern once again.
What
While
race
she's
is she?
going away, Genuine quickly
She's human.
calls out, "Nice hair!"
She kind of like leans around and just like, thank you.
I was gonna ask if the carpet matched the drapes, but
What does that mean?
Right.
Ah,
Well, while you guys are sober, I just wanted to do something really quick, if that's okay.
it's all
That
fine with
depends on
me.
what you're meaning to do.
Well, I'm sure you noticed I write in my journal a lot because he whips out his journal and he kind of like flashes it to you guys. And I don't think any of you can read the language. Do any of you speak Abyssal?
No.
No.
All right. Well, then you can't read the language.
You
just
notice
see
it's
him,
all
like,
written in
scribbling.
blood. As he no, I'm kidding.
Scribbles. Corin, do you need to help writing or something? It looks a little dismembered.
No,
Just
it's
figured.
fine. I'm just I make it a habit to pause through my journal every night, and I figured if we're going to be together, it would be nice if you guys also had access to the treasure trove that is my brain.
Corin's 5-head, bro.
Gord's fucking 7-head over here,
Wow.
dude.
Damn, Corin, how'd you get through the fucking door with a head that big?
I'm sure we can appreciate your insights and knowledge.
Is all of it
Yeah.
written like that? Because I can't really make sense of those letters.
It looks shitty.
That's written like that to, I guess, protect the knowledge that I write. I don't want you to read it necessarily. I don't want to cause distrust between us, but you know, I have my own personal notes that I would like to keep, and I would like to
Cool.
keep my thoughts to myself sometimes. So I will share with the party of what I think would be beneficial, and I hope we can all benefit. Are you raising your hand for me?
Yes.
You could
yes,
just
Corin.
talk.
Ah, what'd you write about me? Thought we wrote something. What'd you write about me?
Well, I've noted that you seemed oddly alright with the fact of meeting your demise again. You noted that heights aren't very effective against you, and that to kill yourself you would need something else.
I want to try the axe again. That one seems a little done away with, you know. But yes, no. Take a running leap off any building, and I will survive the fall. I used to play these tricks around some of the towns to get a bit of extra gold. You make the
Impressive.
right
Well,
bets, and everyone will start giving you money.
Very, very interesting. I guess a bit of a side note. Why are you so okay with the fact of having your options there for suicide?
Well, never know when bad things might happen.
Definitely an interesting outlook as he makes another note in his journal. But yeah, if it's all right with you, I'd just like to kind of go over the day.
Sure.
Go right ahead.
All right.
Boom, boom, boom. Share information as he kind of notes through all the stuff he wrote. Not all of it, but the stuff that
It's too much for him.
Powerful.
Thank you, forbidden knowledge. I've been met with
Yeah.
a terrible fate.
Remember the terrible fate.
he kind of notes like just surface level things that we all like heard of.
Is this the group notes section of the?
It's essentially the group notes section of the foundry.
Sweet.
He doesn't do much of like his personal insight. He doesn't give his opinions on matters. He only gives like factual matters. So he's
Logical
like, oh
facts.
yeah, we woke
Objective.
up in the pool of beginnings. Yeah.
Wow, you're very detailed.
That's a lot of notes.
Yeah.
Where do you find the time?
What?
Well, I was just asking, where do you find the time? Do you just constantly writing?
I'm sure you can see me idly scribbling away.
No, I haven't. I apologize.
Oh, well, I have been.
Is there anyone else in this tavern other than us making
No.
a racket?
It's just you
Okay.
guys.
Nice. The whole place to ourselves.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna go spend a few moments outside to collect those leaves that I was
Oh yeah, I
talking
forgot
about.
you drink leaves.
Yes, I drink leaves. If anybody has an eye for plants and wants to help me, they sure can. But I think I can pick out the right ones.
No.
Nope.
Oh, I would love to, says Kinnick.
Oh shit, he's here. Yeah.
He's a druid,
That
so
is
I
right.
assume he's good at.
Get out there, Nick.
He's a
Yeah.
druid. He should know about leaves.
You have my thanks, Kinnick.
Well, Cohen, Corin, got a question for you too. Well,
I'm gonna go get
Kinnick and
leaves.
Tora
Okay,
are
Make
out.
a make a. Well, I will make a survival check for our boy.
Y'all ever play any local town games?
Since
Ever
he
get
was
the?
performing
I forget what it's called around you, but we call it Cup Pass where I'm from.
Familiar
Can't
with it.
say that I have. No.
Miss! I call to the lady in the back. I've already forgotten her name.
Can you go ahead and
Did she
make
say
a?
her name?
Can you make a roll? God, Tora, a survival, just straight
I would love to. Except
With a
when I
plus
click
2.
on my name, my sheet doesn't come up. I refresh real quick.
Did she say her name?
No.
Okay.
Yes,
Let's see, did
yes, I
miss
have a
something?
question for you. If I could borrow something.
As you can hear, a clatter of dishes is coming back. What is it?
I was wondering if I could have 3 cups.
She walks
I will
forward, and with a
promise not
sigh,
to
she
break 'em.
reaches above, literally a few feet above you, and and just pulls down a
I
few
mean, that's
flags.
pretty far. I'm only 4 feet off the ground, bro.
Yeah,
I'm like
Uh,
a child, like reaching for the cookie jar, like I want them.
but yep,
19
19.
with the plus 2.
Okay. You go out, and you're looking with Kinnick's help. But yeah, she sets down 2 more cups beside you. Is there anything else I can do for you?
No, that'll be all. Thank you.
Yeah, what's your name?
Oh shit, yeah, right. Sasha. Sasha Wolf's my full name, but
Thank you.
Thank you, miss.
and she kind of like reaches over just and pulls out like a small like slip of like tattered like paper, and with it a small like piece of like black chalk. Feel free to scribble down your names. I'll do my best to remember them. I'm gonna get back to it. She kind of like wanders back.
I'll scribble my name.
Yeah.
I'll take the extra time to write my name. Really nice.
That's really fancy.
There we go.
General Cooker
I'll
scribbled out
put
his
mine in
name,
Abyssal.
little chicken scratch.
Okay.
That doesn't look normal.
Do you actually?
No, I don't. I don't know how to say this. Is that?
We have
so
Gowan.
simple.
We have Connect, Tora, Genuine, and
Morlock.
Yeah.
Morlock the Damned.
Genuine quickly sets the 3 cups down and throws the piece of chalk underneath one of them. here's a bit of a game we played in my younger years. And then he's gonna quickly just start spinning the cups around. Keep your eye. Where do you think the chalk would be? Normally we'd bet for this, but
Make
you never know.
go ahead and make a blind stealth check.
Okay. Blind GM roll, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's the third cup on the right.
Is that one right there?
Well, it's not in the cup. See?
The chalk's on the table.
Because it's right there.
Yeah.
So it is going. Oh, well, damn. You're very good at this going. I've never seen someone so quick-eyed. Yes.
Was that the game?
Well, usually
these-
we start betting, and there's a couple other tricks I could throw out to try to throw you off, but I can see you're not interested, so I'm just
Yeah,
gonna
these people are
just gonna
very
stack these up.
surprisingly keen. But you do remember you kind of like the countertop is very like jagged and disleveled, so it made it a bit difficult to move it like smoothly. But
Well,
Just see like the chalk stains dragging on the table.
Shit.
I'm sorry. It seems like a swell game. I feel like someone like Corin would probably appreciate it more than me.
Well, Corin, would you like to play? Where the chalk
yeah,
stops,
sure.
nobody knows.
careful, you're gonna like shuffle the cups, and he's gonna like pin a murder on you. Like he's gonna be like, based on how you move the cups.
The way he moved the cup, I can see he's got blood on his hands. Only a killer would move the cup in that way.
How do I?
Are you doing it again?
I am going to do it again, and I need to send you something real quick.
Oh, is there something up?
He's gonna use the palm and
Oh, this is
object
awkward.
action.
All of an object.
Yeah, he's
Wow.
gonna
Gonna
use
steal the
the
chalk.
All right,
he's
I
gonna
got.
use his fucking.
It's cool that this lets you like do like stealth checks like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I kind of wish I knew what it was at least, because I always
Uh,
stealth
No,
check.
you're not
This time-
supposed to.
This time, however, as you're kind of like watching him kind of shuffle these cups around, you very quickly lose where the chalk was going. He sets the cups out in an array of 3.
What are you thinking, Corin? Where did it go? Where could it be? I know you're a very deductive man, Corin, but
I mean, you could pull up the cup and I'll figure it out, but you're just standing there. You're not doing it.
I mean, you're supposed to
I
guess
said-
where the chalk could be under which cup.
Did I not say the left?
Oh,
Did
I
not
I
pick
did.
up on my
sorry.
Discord. I said left.
I did
Discord
not forget.
microphone.
Over
He's
this,
just sitting there awkwardly.
Shattering crowd. of men. Whoosh, pulls up the left cup.
And there is nothing there.
Puts the cup up, like facing right side up to the side. What do you think now, Corin? Where could it be?
Wait, now that means that it's got to be in one of the ones that you haven't revealed yet.
Thank you,
There's a
Peanut
keen
Gallery.
observation.
Sorry,
No.
I should let Corin handle this one on his own.
The math flying around Gowan's
Just building in his head. His eyes are scanning every piece of the tabletop.
Oh, that was really good.
All right, let's go with the middle one now.
And there is nothing there. As he yoinks the cup up, you are once again met with disappointment and shame, as you have failed
All
once
right,
again to
and
proceed.
the last one.
There is also nothing there. Very
hold
suspicious.
on.
Alright.
What kind
See?
of trick are you trying to pull here?
Well, sorry, I thought it was a quickly little sleight of hand. The chalk flipped up into his finger. After Goins, free win, I decided to up the ante a bit. I apologize, Corin.
Well, how am I supposed to win?
Well, you gotta keep your eye on the chalk.
But the eye, it's supposed to be under the cups, correct?
I never did say that.
Pretty sure you did.
Well, no, I didn't.
All right
Your
then.
goal was to find the chalk, and you failed. I apologize. At least we weren't playing for money. You'd been run ragged on the streets.
I don't think I'm ever going to bet against you.
Good call. I don't like to brag or anything, but I don't play fair in any
What?
way.
You hear the door kind of swing open and the slight clitter clatter of the scampering of Kinnick's feet, followed by Tora, who kind of steps in. It was difficult to kind of find the herbs that you were looking for. This environment is very strange, and many of the fauna, beside the most basic, are hard to recognize. But you did find the servings to at least what you believe could make some tea, or tea leaves. Yeah.
Where did she go? I have the leaves ready.
Miss!
Don't worry, I got the boiling water coming right up, fellas.
Also, thank you for your cups. They were very helpful.
It's kind of stepping around the corner. You can see she's kind of like got this huge fucking metal like bucket that she's just like bringing around the corner. You can see it's like basically filled to the brim with like boiling water. And you can see it's just kind of like bubbling over and kind of spilling as she kind of like adjusts and moves. Alrighty. Got your boiling water coming right up as you can see her foot gets caught on a loose floorboard that was just coming out, or the lip of the door frame that she walks out of. And oh shit! As kind of like just this huge wave of boiling water just comes wafting over the side of the countertop. Can I have Tora and Genuine make a reflex save?
Oh, whoops, I accidentally hit the wrong thing. I am now a master in reflex on accident.
Oh shit, I am too. I
If
got
you
a 26.
right click it. Right click the
Oh,
master thing,
okay.
it goes down.
Nah, I just
Okay.
clicked the wrong one.
Whoops,
Got
I rolled still a blind. Whoops. Do you want me to
I got it.
reroll, or do you just want to say that with Tommy?
Oh yeah. Okay.
Bye.
Can I like reveal this?
I have no idea.
But, I mean, you could say it.
Well, you got a
That's a
15.
Woo! I rolled a 4.
As Tora literally like displaces himself like backwards, like you can see like the slight like feline attributes that he had in fight kind of come out for a moment as he just like launches backwards at an intense speed, kind of coming to a backflip and a 3-point landing as the water claps harmlessly in his space. However, your recovery, Tora, as you feel extremely accomplished and look up to the water that you had dodged, you just see you see Genuine lurched back and just drenched head to toe. You can see steam kind of coming off of him as this boiling water just like hits you right in the face.
It burns!
Are you alright?
As he's going to be taking 2d6 fire
Oh my
damage.
God.
Holy fuck! I'm a cooked bird.
I'm gonna immediately go over to him. And I'm
Oh
gonna-
my goodness, I am so sorry. Oh my God.
I'm gonna
Is she being
like.
truthful? Did she mean to spill that?
You can make a perception check.
Okay.
Blind roll.
My feathers, they burn.
Share where's perception?
On that banner.
Oh, okay. Oh, I see.
We got a height check from Max. Kanik is 4'2".
Bam, bam.
Yeah, she looks. You notice that she has completely dropped the normal, like. She has a kind of, like, brash and rude demeanor. Or at least, like, way of speaking. And you can see she genuinely does feel absolutely awful for just drenching this Kenku in. To be fair, it wasn't completely, like, boiling, but it's very hot. Genuine and very painful.
I'm gonna
I
I'm gonna
am
come
so
over to him.
sorry. What? You can see she kind of runs back and comes back with another bucket of water and just kind of like splashes Genuine with it. The cool water kind of hits you, and it's kind of this like water shock.
I can help him out. Genuine, stay still. And I'm gonna like reach into my robes and like take out some. I don't know what. I'll take out
Aloe
some like
vera?
bandages, I guess, and some like I'll take out some like creams.
Oh.
And I'll rub it. I'm gonna do battle medicine.
It's kind of like shampoo in his like feathers, as it just kind of like.
Yeah.
Ooh.
It's
I'll,
gonna mess up my gloss.
I'll assurance battle medicine you, so you get the health. How much health is it? We will see when I make the roll.
Whoa.
Let's
Oh my
go.
Gosh. Let me see how much I have to get. God. It's 2d8, right? I think so.
Yeah.
I wasn't paying attention, but I could have
Retreating
nimble
moon.
dodged. I don't think I could have actually. Did it count?
I don't think it affected your AC or anything. 2d8. You will be healing. 11 HP.
Whoa!
This
I'm
gauze.
perfectly-
Yeah. It is miraculous. It immediately cleanses the pores. Whatever irritation on your skin you were having or burn sensation immediately soothes. It is.
Oh, I'm perfectly fine.
It hit your face, right?
Yeah, just kind of like went
Ah.
top down. I
I'll
think.
give you like a little like. like a
Well,
face save.
I honestly don't have any words to be honest. The floorboard got me. I'm so sorry.
Tora? Does this stuff stain feathers?
I'm gonna be honest. I usually work on people,
No, that's fine. I don't take offense.
so I have no clue.
Well, I hope it doesn't.
I hope it doesn't as well.
Well, Tora was it? I did, though a lot of it ended up on your friend there. Sorry again. Did boil some of the water you asked me to.
Very boiled, can agree.
He in many ways did taste test the water. He attests. As steam is still kind of rising off his feathers.
Genuine's just kind of like crooning on the bar stool now, like
Thank you,
down.
but if you make this in the future, I don't think you need that much water. Maybe only a glass full. But thank you so much.
Well, shit. In the future, I'll get it right. That would have been nice to know, prior. But,
Yeah,
thankfully, I had so much more, because a lot of it, and she just kind of looks at Genuine again, and then at the water that splattered over the floor. But she pours a glass of, like, boiling water out of the bucket, which is basically all that's left in the bucket, before kind of bringing it back. You can see she kind of, like, stomps out the plank that was, like, kind of sticking up and caught her foot.
I would like put
Pull a better
the tea
reflex
leaves,
save next time.
put the tea leaves like try to make it so like it doesn't fall in, but they're just soaking up in there.
Mhm.
Then I'll wait for like 10 minutes.
As your tea is cooking.
Did I miss anything?
Well,
Bit of a game.
we played some games while you were gone. They were
Sounds
fun. Yeah. I could play a couple more, but I feel like we need to. I feel like we should talk about what we're doing next.
Yes.
Because personally, oh, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, Tora.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I don't know what either of you guys need to do outside here, but I'm looking for a halfling, and I won't take no for an answer.
I suppose that maybe some of us, maybe more of us, have personal missions that we have to deal with once we're out of. But we'll have to attend to that once we get out. I wouldn't mind helping you find this person.
Well,
At least once I see what's going on at.
no, that's understandable. Mine can take a back seat. I need to actually ask some contacts, figure out where he disappeared to, because he went out on the lam, if you will, and it'll take a while to find him. We'll have to hit a couple of the bigger cities, which we can probably do on the passings towards your guys' goals.
The lamb. Is he
Out on
driving
the lam, he's out off the cuff. He's an asshole. There's a lot of things to call him.
Oh, all right. Well, I think for today and for tonight we should just rest.
Shall we set out tomorrow morning? Does that suit everyone?
Should we figure out the horse situation before we go to bed, or should we do that tomorrow?
I think we can do it once morning breaks. If you don't mind me while my tea is getting ready, I'm gonna calm down. I'm just gonna like. There wasn't a fireplace in here, right? It was just kind of like a.
No. Yeah.
I'll just go into a corner, and I'm just gonna start refocusing. I use the refocus activity, in which for 10 minutes I will be doing something to get my spell slots back, in some way that matches my class according to the description. So I'm just gonna be meditating.
Oh,
Sick.
for your focus spells?
Yeah, I'm gonna get my focus point back.
Oh, okay.
While that's happening in the corner, hey Gowan.
Yes, sir, Corin.
I wanted to ask you something, but I'm not entirely sure if I should do it privately or not.
I'm not easily offended. I'm sure you could say it right now.
All right. So what exactly was that power you displayed during the fight against the Great Leeches?
It looked cool.
Right. Listen, I'm sorry you all had to see me like that. I shouldn't have let it happen.
No. It worked out. I thought it was cool. Very interesting.
Doesn't always turn out like that, but if you're wondering about it, it's a bit complicated. Is there anything in particular you'd like to know?
I guess
I like
what
Corin,
entirely happens? What triggers it? 'Cause
Well,
it's willing.
no, not usually. There's certain situations that cause it to come upon me. Usually some sort of stress, some conflict. But then there's other times where it just happens out of nowhere. Can't control it.
And what stops it?
Nothing really. I've just got to let it run its course. Once there's nothing in front of me to beat to a pulp.
Do you control yourself while you're in it?
It's strange. It feels as though there's this seething anger that overtakes me, and there's a part of me that knows that there's no reason for me to be angry. That wonders why I feel like this, and that part just sort of sits on the sidelines, and it watches these hands commit atrocities, and it wonders if that's really me.
Hell.
I'm sorry, it's quite a load to drop on you right now, but
No, it's fine.
about it.
I had an orc friend who was very similar in some ways.
Oh, that moved everybody.
Well, I can say that I do believe that you have some control over yourself in that state.
Somewhat, yeah. But listen, to the extent that it could harm the rest of you, I'll try to keep it under control, but I don't think I can make any promises.
Well, from the first battle, it seems that we weren't your targets for this unseen force, so I guess whatever it is, maybe it was you peeking through, decided that we weren't worth smashing.
Seems to be.
Speaking of unseen, Corin, what's your stink?
I think that's already made itself quite apparent.
Well, I've seen you write in the notepad, but were you just like a scribe in a previous life, or?
I've been many things in my previous life. I don't entirely know what you trying. Are you trying to gauge my combat prowess, or?
Yeah, I was just wondering what you do in the field. I wasn't talking anything else. That's why I was talking unseen. I didn't see you in the last combat very much. I was focused on the slimy boy in front of me.
I try and just stay in the back and shoot my bow.
Oh.
I like to remain unseen in combat, at least to a certain extent. I don't exude a lot of presence.
Yeah, birds of a feather.
Is there anything in particular that you're looking to find out there?
Yes and no. What I'm looking to find is quite a varied subject, and it doesn't necessarily have an answer quite yet.
Sounds quite philosophical.
Sounds
I
weird.
guess this is a spiritual journey of mine.
Do we even have spirits anymore?
I believe so.
I don't know. There's something to ask Miss Shrine Lady. But, yeah, that's very cool and deep and interesting, Corin.
Thank you for such the adjectives. They truly mean a lot.
Well, I'm glad to say 'em, I guess.
What about you, Knick? Could you tell us your life story real quick?
Tell us your secret, deep and meaningful.
The joke is that Knick isn't here.
As of
Yes.
currently.
That's alright, Knick. It's okay to be a little shy.
Yeah,
ask you
we're not all
maybe,
trying to spill our guts in the moment.
Maybe next session.
She just makes some choking noises.
He's just talking in like rat. And we're just like,
Yeah. You guys
lost
don't
all
happen to be religious, do you?
Not personally. Religion always, looked down on my way of life.
Bjorn?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, no, not particularly either.
Alright.
Why do you ask?
You gonna come
Well,
on this?
No, I'm not particularly religious in my sort. I know of the dwellers and, the domains that they hold over, but I guess I want to look around. Is that one girl? Is Sasha? Is she around?
I mean, she's in the back, but you guys could like move tables if you really wanted to. You guys are kind of just at like the island right now.
Well, I just want to keep this down low because I don't entirely know if it's something I should be saying, but I do believe I have an inkling in the Shrine Guardian's true self or her identity.
And that is?
I'm sure you heard me say it, Arya.
Oh, she's the,
That means nothing to me.
She's a dweller.
Oh, well, that's a mighty fine piece of information right there. Sorry, I have something in my throat.
Oh yes, or you're the promised. I've heard of her.
Oh, yeah,
Oh, what was she promised?
don't entirely know. But it's just a hunch, just based off of her reaction and how her memory seemed to be foggy.
Well, that'd be quite something.
Meeting a dweller. Huh. Add that one to the resume, I guess. Or bucket list. I should probably rewrite that. Hmm.
Cool. Once I'm done refocusing, I'll go grab my tea and come back over to the fellas.
Oh, hey, Tora! How was the nap?
I wasn't napping, I was, I guess, centering myself a little bit more.
Well, you look straight to me, so I think it worked.
If any of you guys want to try to make a recall knowledge check on information of Oriel or Ariel, you'd be
What do we
welcome.
roll for that?
I do.
It's still a recall knowledge check, but in religion. Just know the DC is pretty high.
I am not trained. Well, I guess I wasn't even there, so
Can I like?
I won't do it.
Is it a train check?
Well, do you have to be trained to do it?
No, the recall
Is it
knowledge.
like
you
a-
can attempt. It's just like I'll
Is
just.
there like,
Bam.
do you just roll
Oh, shit,
like
that's
the
the wrong skill.
thing?
What?
Like, would I just roll a
knowledge is a
religion
secret
check?
as well.
Gotta be
Works.
secret with it. Oh, you gotta be secret.
Oh, that's a secret check?
Yeah. So just reroll. Well,
Yeah. Recall knowledge is secret.
And so you just roll the skill itself, right? That's what for the recall. It's not like
Yeah,
a
you-
specific
Yeah.
lore thing?
You recall, yeah. You use the skill, you're recalling knowledge.
Oh, okay.
I wonder.
Keep
Okay,
accidentally
you
rolling
guys can
secret.
keep doing your thing. Anyone remember what the command for whispering is? Is it /W?
Is it
Isn't it just
slash
/W? Yeah, let's,
Slash
Oh, no,
let's
W.
do
you
a
could
test.
just message on Discord if you wanted.
No, if I do it
Oh,
on
shit.
Discord, I'll have to like pause the stream
Right.
because I'm recording the
Oh.
cameras.
Okay. Well,
Oh, you just said, did you see
There
that?
we go.
I did. I saw it from Daniel. Hi.
Okay.
/W
White
the
text.
name.
name and then their thing.
Is it just like their?
Hmm.
Would it just be like
Let me
slash
check.
whisper Daniel or something if I wanted to go Daniel?
Oh, yeah. The character name or display name. Because
Oh,
no,
okay.
you saw that, right?
Yeah, it's still. Okay.
Yeah, I see. Yeah, I see you saying hello to me.
Cool.
Well, be quite interesting if your theory there was true, Corn. But what do we do with this information?
Don't entirely know yet. It's just something to ponder at.
I guess.
I imagine that answers if we discover more about the situation we are in and the situation of her. More things could become clear. Maybe we can figure out more about revenants and the Misted Isle in particular.
Maybe we could make it not so misty. Really kind of brings down the mood half the time.
I guess it's probably why they call it that.
Maybe bright sunny isles, but that doesn't really roll off the tongue as well. What do you think, Goen? What are you looking for to in this fixing the Misty Isles mystery?
I'm not quite sure. I mean, I suppose this is our home now. A home of sorts. I don't know how I feel about that. I'm not really looking for anything, if I'm being honest.
We
Suppose
can look
I'll...
for stuff. We can look for stuff together, Goen. It'd be great.
Well, I'm grateful to have a new home. The one I had before is the one I long for the most, so I don't think I'll be spending much time here if I have anything to say about it.
You think once we get to wherever you came from, you're just going to be staying there then, Tora?
I have.
Like I said before, I left it in a bad state. But if I woke up right after, I died, I think I can get back there quick enough, hopefully.
Didn't Miss Shrine Lady say time moved differently here? Who knows? I don't know if she mentioned if we go slower or faster when we're in the Misted Isles, but that might put a damper on your get home quick strategy.
I pray that it is slower.
But Corin, I have I was racking my brain. I had something itching in there, just trying to get out. And I seem to recall a bit on Oriel. I'm not sure. I like go down to a whisper. I'm not really sure, but I distinctly remember her being the betrayer goddess. And there was a lot of random stories here and there, but a lot of them mentioned the Witch of the Night. I don't know what we can do with this information, but it was just something racking my brain about that name.
Is she the Witch of Night, or is she connected to it?
I'm not sure. Everything's starting to fade away a bit. Might be the alcohol.
You saying that to all of us or just the coin?
I'm kind of like whispering like down low, but yeah, like it's mostly the party, but I'm like talking directly to Corin about it because
Yeah, you guys are all in like the same spot, really.
yeah, just keeping it down. The walls have ears.
Genuine, if there's
I
any
believe-
shred of truth to what you say, I think it's best that we keep our suspicions to ourselves.
Yes.
Did you get my whisper, by the way, Dane?
Yes, it did.
Okay.
Yeah, from what I remember, she was the one who slayed the Witch of the Night. Not sure which account is true, but there is some connection, I'm guessing.
I don't know what she betrayed, though. I can't remember that much.
Oh wait, did I say she was slain? I meant to say she slayed the Witch of the Night.
Mhm.
Whatever.
I got you.
What do you think of this, Corin?
Well, I've heard what you have said, Gawain, that she slayed the Witch of Night. And she lost her life after that. And then did not go to Elysium with her brothers and sisters.
Could she have also become a revenant? Like us?
I don't believe she's a revenant. I don't think that a dweller would need to become a revenant. If
But if
she
she was-
is.
A god? A revenant god? I don't know. She apparently, if the stories are true, she died like we did. And now she's back in the Misted Isles. Like us. I feel like the connection there is pretty on the beak, if you will. On the nose, I guess, for the rest of you non-beaked folk.
I guess I just don't entirely see why a dweller would need to become a revenant. It doesn't seem to make much sense. I imagine that their powers are already far greater than what a revenant could provide.
Maybe she
I
was
don't
the
see
first.
why this. It could have been the first. I imagine that if things are going as we think they are, I imagine when she died, that's when she began her life here as the Shrine Guardian. She talked about a duty. I don't know entirely who would have given that duty to her.
Duty to herself from her past life, maybe. I don't know. This is a very philosophical and long-standing historical conversation. Those aren't really my strong suit.
I'm going to be honest, I don't entirely believe you when you talk about her being a betrayer goddess. At least from what I know, I've never read anything like that, and you seem unsure about the idea yourself. I'm not sure if we can, at least I can entirely trust the knowledge that you are speaking of.
Well, Corin, I may not be the most honest of birds, but in this very moment, all I speak is the truth.
The truth is different by who's speaking it. It could be your truth, but is it the truth of Ariel herself?
Your confusing words will not mess with me, Corin. I know what I know, and I know for truth.
Listen, either way, I don't think there's anything that we can really act upon. I think we're clearly, for our heads here, and maybe we should just focus on looking after ourselves.
We
I have to agree. I think our own schemes and ideas are inferior to whatever the dwellers in those up in the heavens have above, so I don't. And I also don't want to question the hand that helped us so.
I think there may be an understanding. I'm not entirely questioning her as a negative thing. I imagine she looked troubled when trying to remember her name. I imagine anyone would if they couldn't remember their past life. And if Ariel is her past life, I feel like she deserves to have some insight into that.
You're a man who likes to poke at all the scabs of mysteries, aren't you, Corin?
When you were talking about my shtick earlier, yeah, that's kind of who I am.
Huh. I hate to play poker with you. We should try that sometime. It would always be that's always a good team building exercise. Little healthy game of
After
poker.
playing games with you earlier, I want to play games with you again.
You can't be like that. If we're gonna stick
Well-
by, help Tora get to his home, and kind of do all our own little quests together, we'll get to know each other, and I'll dig you into a game eventually, Corin.
You told me quite straight face that you cheat at games.
I was
you
lying
didn't
about
hide
that
it.
one. As I said, I was only a dishonorable bird in that non-circumstance.
You
I'm
looked me
quite
in the
truthful.
eyes as you told me.
That you're a liar.
I'd have you
You're a
know, I
dirty
did
liar.
roll a deception check. And I deceived you that I was telling lies. Is the man who lies saying he's truthful a lie? Something?
Deaf.
Oh no.
Deaf, come back.
I confused myself. I apologize. I think I needed to go lie down.
Yeah, I think
It's
the
time for
alcohol's
rest.
certainly getting to you.
Retire for the evening. Is there lodging here, or is it just a?
I mean, we could try our hands at sleeping on the bar stools, but I don't know how comfortable that'd be.
Does it look like this place has rooms for us to stay in?
There
or-
is a staircase at the far, like, right end of the building that's just kind of, like, embedded in the corner. It goes into the wall and then goes up to a second floor. But
Genuine stands on his chair, like, really high, and calls out, Miss Sasha! Miss Sasha!
yes, what is it? Oh, what
Still
exactly can
standing
I
on
do for you fellas again?
How tall is the chair off the ground?
You're on a stool right now, so about 1.5 feet.
Okay. Is she still taller than me? At like 1.5 feet, or like,
Yes. But you are taller than you were before.
I am 1.5 feet taller, which means I am like almost 6 feet, guys. Don't worry, I'm getting there.
Well, go on, spit out. What exactly were you looking to hear?
May we stay the night, please? It'd be all so kind of you.
Normally, I'd charge you a few coins for the lodging, but we do have lodging in the upper floors. None of the doors are locked, but with my little accident earlier, you fellas are welcome to help yourselves up there. I don't got anybody sleeping over the night. It's not like we get many travelers, to be honest. This is kind of not a super. The Isles are not that very visited. So it's generally vacant. Welcome to help yourselves. Mind the spiders, but should be okay.
Me and spiders go way back. We're always friends. They like to nibble, but other than that,
Well, just
Genuine gives a jaw-shattering yawn.
I'm tired.
Yes. Thank you for the lodging.
Thank you for the free lodging and for burning me. It was very helpful.
you're welcome. Sorry.
And with that, Genuine starts making his way up the things, kind of shambling a bit.
Okay. You make your way up to the lodging.
I'm
They're
gonna
small
try
and
to-
they're small and kind of like you can definitely tell the rooms have been vacant for a long time. There's like dust that kind of builds up on some portions that have been like kind of dusted off lightly, but the buildup's still there. Whatever, you don't really knock out any of the cobwebs that you see, but you just kind of like pull yourself under the covers and just you're out within a moment. What were you gonna say, Tora?
Oh, I was gonna ask Sasha if he needed any help washing dishes.
That's awfully sweet of you to offer. But I I got something to do. To be honest, I do this because I'm bored. Uh, but no, I appreciate the offer, but I got to do it myself. Need something to do.
All right.
Yeah.
And I'll go to bed too. I'll walk up the stairs.
I
Okay.
will also go to bed.
Okay.
Warren's gonna go for a walk.
Okay.
Wow.
I would like to
As you open your
Actually,
door
head
again.
towards the
Sorry, what
shrine
time of day is it?
guardian.
What's up?
What time of day is it?
The it has made no change in the
Oh.
clouds or otherwise, so it's difficult to tell.
Okay.
You don't really know because you like woke up and then you came out. You would need like some mechanical device or something to tell you the time. It's difficult to really tell it like here because you have no bearing of what like to reference, you know. But Tor, you walk into your room, kind of tidy it up a bit, but nonetheless you find yourself going back to sleep easily. Gowan, you walk into your room and you notice that there's a giant spider who eats you immediately. I'm kidding.
Yo, fuck. If it's giant to going, holy fuck.
No, I'm kidding. You have a cuddle sesh with it. It's
Okay.
no.
I'm gonna go
All
to
those
sleep.
arms,
animal.
just give more
Toxic
hugs, you
training
know?
all
More
night.
hugs.
Ooh.
Whatever those hairs are called that are on like spiders, so they can like climb on walls or whatever.
Mm.
Yeah.
But no, I'm just kidding. It's not like so bad. It's not like you walk into the room and there's fucking cobwebs everywhere. It's just like there's like a cobweb in the corner and it's got like a daddy long legs on it, basically. And the daddy
like
long
me.
legs are revenant.
Hold up.
He's glowing green. No, I'm kidding. But no, you I'm assuming you take your armor off.
Yes.
And then you find yourself getting to bed. Corn, however, you kind of find yourself wandering the back onto the hamlet center.
I'd like to go towards the crystal room where the shrine guardian was.
Okay. You head over to the central temple, kind of making your way up the stone staircase, and you can hear the idle chatter of people kind of talking inside as you approach like one of because it doesn't have doors really. It just has like archways where the staircases kind of lead up to.
Do I see the shrine guardian?
Well, you kind of like, I guess I assumed you just kind of like paused when you were like walking up the staircase, but if you didn't stop,
Yeah, I'm looking for her.
okay. You kind of make your way up to the top of the staircase and you notice that it seems Han was kind of in the middle of kind of talking. As you see, he's standing at like the central base a few feet away from the shrine guardian who's currently kneeling in prayer to or what appears to be a posture of prayer to this like large crystal or the shrine in the center of the temple. And you notice that kind of like sitting along multiple portions or broken cobbles and along the top of the crystal itself are the deep crows, who'd all kind of like turn their heads to you as you enter and are among the first. And you can see Han was about to kind of continue with a statement before. Don't let it trouble you too much. I'll go watch the border again. And he kind of looks up to you at the top of the stairwell before kind of like stepping out and walking up the staircase and leaving.
I'll just walk up to her.
You notice that as you're kind of like approaching whatever as you kind of make your way down the staircase, you notice that the central shrine where this the crystalline world vein kind of protrudes from, and the crystalline blue waters that are otherwise generally like dark, seem to have had globules of light kind of like dancing within them, and as you approach, they quickly kind of like flicker out or kind of sink in the water as almost in tune with as the shrine guardian seems to close her prayer, kind of setting her hands on her knees as she pulls herself up back into her standard posture and kind of turns to look at you. I see that you have returned. Is there anything that I can be of service to thou?
Yeah, I want to know more about you. The foggy memory that you have is intriguing to me. And I just wanted to know if you are entirely okay with knowing more about yourself as well.
Well, I have to say that was inquisitive nature to my personal matters and my embarrassment for not having the answers to it. It's oftentimes a question even I can't ponder, though I find it is often harmful to sink too deeply into one's own questions. But I can't say I'm not curious of what you think.
Well, the answer that I got, at least in part, was due to your reaction to the name Ariel.
You notice that as you kind of like say it, there's like this this almost like pained expression that comes across her features, and it's a very like unsettling thing, as though you've harmed her in some way. Uh, though she doesn't necessarily make this like grimace. Um, as the moment passes, she's as I said, the name seems familiar, and I guess but I don't see the significance of it, or at least in the same way that thou does.
At least I find it somewhat significant. Does the title The Witch of Night mean anything to you?
It does. I've heard enough. Or I know at least an amount on the topic. Though I must say I'm impressed at how brashly you speak that title. It's not often that sirs like yourself are so openly speaking of the name. To my understanding, it holds quite a taboo subject.
I guess it's just my curiousness. Well, obviously, it's not every day you wake up as a revenant.
Certainly
And
not so.
I would like to know more about the situation I find myself in.
Whatever questions plague thou's mind, I'd be welcome to answer if I have them. She kind of like pulls herself back.
The name that is familiar to you, does it spark any other memories?
It's strange to describe exactly how I feel. It's as though it's painfully familiar. But as any attempts I try to pin anything to it, I feel this pain in my chest that I just can't ignore. I'm sorry. I'm speaking nonsense. I just have I don't have a way to describe it. It's as though it's so familiar, yet almost something I painfully don't want to remember. If that... But you see she kind of like shakes her head as though she just like doesn't have a good way to like describe it,
Mm-hmm.
but
Is there any other names, locations, feelings that are alongside this?
however does thou mean?
When I say that name, is there anything other than pain? Anything other that would be familiar that sprouts in your mind?
You see, she kind of like turns to the crystal as if trying to seek the answers to your question in the waters that it holds. I I feel as though there are, but I just, forgive me, I just don't see the answers. They don't come to me. I tried communing with the spirits in the water. They had, because I was curious about it as well. I've never reacted like that. I'm generally. Thou's inquisitiveness or questions are flattering, but I must say I felt poor for lacking the answers. Perhaps I could commune with the crystal, or the vein itself. But she kind of, her eyes kind of like close as she just kind of clasps her hand, as it just seems to be in ponderance, still listening to you, but
Well, don't do anything that you don't entirely want to. This is obviously just my curiosity. If these things are painful and you don't want to remember them, then you shouldn't have to.
it's not as though I don't want to know what you speak of, or whatever it is you know. Because among like anyone else, I'm certain, as thou would understand, I, as I stated, have always been here, as far as I can remember. I've seen this place since its construction and its former glory since the first Reviven, or Revenants, and all the horrors and trials that it's faced, and I've been here through all of it. Those are my only memories. All the people and the time that's taken place here that I've met. Thou among them. Thou's other arisen among them. The newest bookmarks in my memories. Never before have I ever thought so much on that there were things that came before. If that is the case. I must sound like I'm mad.
I don't believe so. Obviously, it's a troubling experience. Troubling experiences for all of us here. Here, let me test something. I want to flip in my journal, and I want to write something in Abyssal, and then write something in Celestial. And then I'll show it to her. Can you read either of these?
I'd certainly hope so. You wrote it in the same language.
Interesting. Thank you for that answer.
Was my answer troubling? I hope I haven't harmed you in any way.
No, it was more telling than anything. I guess I I might have another option, but you'd have to give me a minute.
All I have is time. I just...
All right. Well, excuse me for a second. I would like to essentially create, like in a minute or so. I just want to be like, a circle means A. A circle with one line means B. A circle with 2 lines means C. I just want to do something like that, like a very simple code. And then I just want to write like something with that code that I've written.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah. And then once I've written this code, however long it takes, just like very simple and not really hard to figure out, I'd like to show it to her. Can you read this now?
She says what it says, and seems, you can see she's a little. She kind of feels as though you're like playing like a game, but she seems to just be kind of going along with it. I often do. There's a young girl, a revenant girl here in Ash Point. I believe you had a moment to see her. I often do read a lot for her. She's still learning, but however, it seems that I am a terrible teacher. Much of the things I say don't. But no matter, I've always enjoyed reading for the children here. I guess this is kind of reminding me. Is this some sort of cultural game?
No, I apologize. It was just merely a test on my end. And as I say that sentence, intermittently, some of those words are going to be different languages. So
Okay.
I'll make it, the base is common, but every once in a while, I'll swap one of the words to be like celestial, and then I'll swap one to be orcish.
So he doesn't seem to
And
ever lose what you're saying.
Does she recognize that I'm saying different? Like, what I'm saying is like, all of a sudden I'm going...
If she does, she doesn't really comment on it.
So I apologize for my charades. I do believe that is all I wanted out of this. I apologize if I cause any discomfort. It's just merely my nature.
Those kindness is too kindred, and not something to be to be required. But I should be the one thanking thou.
I'll make my leave then. And I'll give her a curtsy.
You mean a bow? I don't know if dudes curtsy.
I don't
Isn't-
know.
Well, curtsies are like...
curtsy bow?
Curtsy is like the dress thing. It's like the dress thing.
Yeah.
You're like,
Yeah, that's when they
you're
like...
ooh.
Yeah.
You're
I'll
like-
give her a a bow nod then.
Yeah. You pull your
no.
pant
Or
legs to
maybe
the side and you just
I
squat.
do have like a coat thing. I could do a curtsy.
You do we'll say the male variation. You just kind of
Yeah.
push your coat back, and she gives you a bow as well.
And like when I turn around, I'd like to take the seek action and see if there's anyone down the staircase.
There's doors.
Well, can I still take the seek action? Seek isn't
Oh,
just entirely set.
No, I
right?
know, yeah. Well, true. Go ahead and make a perception check. It's a blind GM roll. As you kind of like look down the staircase, you don't necessarily your vision doesn't necessarily see, you don't see like any dude fucking like lurking in the shadows, some like monkey with a knife, The stone staircase, though damaged, leads down to the semi-metallic wooden door that's like embedded in the stonework. That is currently closed. Your vision kind of wanders away out of the shadow portions of it, and as you kind of like look up to literally all the like deep crows are like watching you.
All of them? Were they
Yeah.
watching Han when I came into the room?
You weren't necessarily. They as you approached, their attention came to you. It wasn't as though like whether or not you were like paying attention to the like Han,
Did my that's odd feat?
that's
figure
odd
out
would have
that,
gone
or-
off for the crows. Like that's kind of what
Okay.
yeah. But I guess I will say they seem to have focused a lot more on you. You didn't really notice any of them really paying much attention to Han. It could be because of your semblance as like a revenant. You don't
I'll make my way down.
Okay.
Back towards the tavern where my room is.
know. You kind of make your way back to the tavern. Those of you kind of the more lighter sleepers can hear the light footfalls of another individual as they enter onto the second floor, and as you guys kind of rest, you benefit from over the 8-hour course of your rest. You benefit from as though you had taken a 24-hour rest.
Oh,
Yeah.
Wow.
To put it mechanically, if you're resting in the Misted Isle, or at least near Ash Point, any like 8-hour rest is treated as a 24-hour period for the point of like recovery. So that includes like your drained conditions, your health regeneration. So I believe it's 2 times your level with how much HP you gain.
do we roll for our drained condition?
No, I don't believe you need to roll for drained, but let me check.
Oh, it just goes away.
It's just permanent.
Each time you get a full night's rest, your drain value decreases by 1. So you guys would all lose the drain.
Whoa, we're all
Heck
fully
yeah.
healed. I was not hurt in the first place. which
No
is why
longer
I
drain
got fucking
gang.
burnt by boiling water.
I am full health.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
once I wake up, I'll just go down to the table. I won't have my ponytail up. I'll just be drinking some tea. And I'll leave a copper piece on the table for her.
Okay.
Did you boil your own water?
And if she wasn't awake, then yeah, I probably would have.
I'd like to treat wounds on myself
Okay.
in the morning.
Is this like battle medicine or
No,
just
to
like
treat
just a normal?
wounds.
Okay. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Roll the medicine.
Well, I don't. Where's my medicine? Ba 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 ba. And yeah, I'll just do the treat. Oh, that makes it. So I heal 2d8. Seven HP. Whoop. And I'll treat wounds again. Using my continual recovery feat, I can just keep going.
Sick.
Don't stop. Don't stop.
And then I heal another 2d8.
Mm.
I'll just do this as I wake up. There we
Ooh.
go, 14 HP.
Big.
So I'm now at full HP.
Oh, it's
Nuts.
barely injured.
Boom! I am a full HP man. That's what I do in the morning for 20 minutes.
I stood up on my armor and I go and conquer the day.
Genuine makes his way down. His cloak is askew, and he's not fully awake yet.
Oh. Yeah. So I'll have like my robe. Like I don't have my belt on yet. I'm just kind of chilling out in the chair.
Got some
Does
slipper-
anybody want to take a bath in the river nearby?
I probably should wipe off this creamy stuff off my face.
You know what? I'll just put my armor on, so I think I'll pass on that. But maybe next time.
How about you,
I'll
Kinnick?
head with you.
Yes. Kinnick, would you
Nick
like to
would
come?
love to.
Oh wow, Kinnick.
Whoa.
He's here.
All right. Do you have soaps? I managed to have some in my backpack when I,
I think I do. I do have soap.
That's oddly prepared, I will admit. I think I got some chalk.
You should have soap too, I think, if you buy the adventurers pack.
I don't have soap.
You can borrow some of mine.
You guys are just in like the base of the dead end right now.
Well,
Our base is inside.
let's go.
Ah,
I'm gonna go
Coralie
out to the
told me I'm
river.
too tired.
I'm gonna We're about to just bathe in the river, dudes. Let's go.
It's the olden days.
I
We
just
don't
need
got baths.
just one sec. As you guys walk, kind of your morning routine has been relatively the same, but as you have woken up and gotten ready, you notice that there is it seems as though dusk has fallen over this this environment. The landscape, or otherwise like what would be the grayish like midday luminescence that was the on your initial arrival here seems to have faded. Whether it was a progression of time or otherwise, it's unknown, but there is this strange uneasiness in the air. As
It's dark out.
it is very dark
I'll,
out.
I'll light a torch then. Seems to be dark.
Wait, Seth, did you go with them or did you say?
I'm with them, yeah.
Oh shit, I'm the only one staying there.
Fucking
Bro.
Kinda
Yeah,
dark.
Actually,
watch
no,
us
I thought
bathe.
you were
Kinda
saying
stinky
so. Like,
going.
if
Hang
I
on.
if I knew that you were going, I would have just tagged along, but not taken a bath. So I'll also go.
Oh,
Okay, it didn't save my playlist. So give me a moment. I made a song. I didn't make a song.
Specifically for this very
oh.
moment.
I
It's like,
You made a song.
yo.
I made a playlist for this, but it's gone. So I have to
You're fucking
pull.
like-
I also hadn't, you know,
Boom, boom. It's a fucking like
Fucking
foreboding,
bomb.
like.
Yeah.
Yo, we got
Dum,
boss
dum, dum.
music starting to play in the background. It's like, bro, what's going on?
Get some like fucking bloodborne shit coming. Like,
We're just like walking.
some fucking like
Ah, did we
fucking
oversleep? Seems a little
uneasy
late.
violin noises.
It's the fucking
It's-
you know the tune from like the SpongeBob episode where they go fishing. It's like that's the D minor. Every fisherman knows that means death.
Yes.
You know the ReZero noise where it's like as something's like weird happens, it goes ooh, ah, ooh. That's what's playing right now.
okay.
Did we oversleep? It's still
Oh.
dark out. Or undersleep?
Perhaps we didn't gauge the time right when we went to bed.
We were very tired. I
I
feel. It
can't
was a long
sense
day.
direction as I pull out my compass out of my satchel. Been
Your,
reading on my soapy.
Do you have multiple compasses, or
I only
compass?
have the one compass.
Okay.
As you can see, it's still messed up.
Wow.
All right, forgive
What
me
does it
for
do
that.
again?
Or maybe it's not messed up since we're out here.
Well,
Maybe
you
my
haven't
ears-
you haven't
still
left the
messed up?
building yet. I had to kind of pause because this is.
Oh, we've just been
Yeah.
chatting. Okay.
Forgive me, this was not what I expected.
We're,
Wait, is it the music that should be playing right now?
our Sims got paused.
The
You are feeling unclean, and
Yeah,
Alright.
we have the stinky condition.
Wait, is that a condition?
No,
It
it's
is in
not actually a
Sims.
Oh,
condition.
D and D.
You have to bathe in this system.
Pathfinder stinky condition.
Oh,
If you're
There
too
might be.
steaky.
What's the consequences for not bathing?
It's
mean,
like
there's probably,
fucking
like-
like Stench from Divinity 2, I think, where it's like you can't be near people.
okay,
Yeah.
you guys.
I imagine
Your-
like
Your charisma's
creatures.
low.
Yeah, your
I
charisma
imagine
is
that
lower.
creatures like a skunk or something might have an
Okay.
ability where it's like you smell like shit for 8 hours.
Are you guys able
What's
to
that?
hear that?
Okay, I should probably take a bath then.
Okay.
I can
hear
hear
you're-
some light bass.
Like-
Oh, I got turned up. Oh, there you go.
As you have all kind of finished your getting ready, you notice that there is whatever light was in the day before. It is comparatively turn to dusk. There is no light, no noise. It is this eerie silence that is only broken by the creak of your footsteps as you kind of move down and kind of regroup in the lower center. And something you only really noticed once you have finally shaken your grogginess. You notice that there are no lights necessarily, as far as you can tell within the lower chamber. It is pitch black as you have kind of like lit a torch. Many of the windows within the tavern have been like closed. You notice that there is this like the air is very like chilled and cold.
So, which way is the river?
Ah,
Sorry.
Tort, do you
It's
know?
It's a bit draft in here. That way.
Who turned out all the lights?
Do you feel comfortable taking a bath when it's dark out? That's when I often took it during the night.
I'll admit I don't feel comfortable at all right now. There's something in the air. I couldn't tell you what it is, but I don't feel safe. Does everyone have their gear on them? Just to be safe, just on the safe side.
Yes, I have what I need.
Well, nothing for it, I guess. Tori, you can lead since you have the torch.
Yes. Alright. Oh, so like we're in the basement? I mean, not in the basement. We're like
No, you're on like the
base
first
building?
floor, but there isn't any like windows that are like open right now. But you can see that there's like, cause they kind of got like light shone through by like the gray like, whatever like the sunlight that was in the aisle. But it is like pitch black outside. You can see what seems to be like, the intermittent like flickering of like firelight, and occasionally you can hear like the idle like footsteps like of people like of moving, but just as you like approach the door. But
I'll approach the door and I'd like to can you hear? Can you speak with your ears? I forgot.
you have to use a precise sense, but you can make a perception check. Why? What were you trying to do?
I just want to make a perception check to see if there was like anything going on like right outside.
Okay, go ahead and make a
Do like a secret room.
secret roll.
Yo, it's a surprise party. It's the
While
welcoming.
we're walking, can I start pursuing a lead against Han?
Okay.
And then
I don't wanna
after that
hide, I'll be
finish, I would
honest.
want to pursue a lead against the Shrine Guardian.
Oh, you can do it on multiple people?
You can do it. Yeah, I can hold two maximum. So
Okay.
I'm going to do it on Han first, and then the Shrine Guardian second.
Wow.
He's so big brained.
I'm
What
going to
about-
pursue a lead.
Hmm.
Fucking like gets added to your HUD.
Lead pursued.
Han. Shrine Guardian.
right to like your crayon.
Yeah. He's
Yo, it's like fucking Blue's Clues. He's got the big notebook out.
Yeah.
He's got the crayon. He's drawing like.
gonna go to the thinking chair.
Man, we're devaluing his intelligence.
What the hell?
How does it feel to be devalued, Corin?
Did you see my role, Mr. Game Master?
I did.
I feel
I am typing your.
Mr. Game Master.
Mr.
Well,
Game.
that's what it says. It says to Game Master.
Yeah, but he ain't no Mister.
He's a master. Oh, wait.
Whoa.
Hold up.
Hold up.
Master.
Pause.
ご主人様.
Stop.
日本語がわかりますか?
There seems to be people confused about what's happening as well. Seem to be heading towards the shrine. Let's go. I'll open the door.
Hmm.
You exit out into the what would be the out of the dead end and back onto one of the cobbled street of the of Ash Point. You see that there are people both that the dust that has fallen over this area is is pitch black. You notice that the sky has been entirely like parted of clouds, and sitting in the center of it is this almost like twilight blue moon that's just like hovering overhead, as well as the fact that you can feel the around you. You can see that there are people walking, some intermittently carrying torches, all of which, as your eyes kind of like follow them, they seem to be all moving towards the central shrine or temple that is surrounded by like people are gathered around the base of the footsteps, um, looking around confusedly in a small like mob. It looks as though the entire population of Ash Point um, is surrounding the temple as though something had happened.
Should we follow them?
I don't know.
Are you still keen on taking a bath?
I think that's gonna have to wait. Yeah, let's go. And I will start leading us towards the shrine.
Okay. As you guys start making your way towards the shrine, as you approach the group of people, they are kind of like blocking the base of the staircase. It seems none of them, you can see a lot of them are kind of like mumbling to one another, just trying to figure out what exactly is going on. And it seems as though many of them have come here in concern uh, of the change. You notice that many of them seem worried. Along with, as you guys kind of approach, you notice that a lot of them seem to kind of glance this almost like what started as curious gazes when you had arrived now turned to almost like you can see the paranoia and fear in some of their eyes as they almost seem to kind of like part out of the way. What's up?
My pursuit leave has a cooldown of 10 minutes, so I'll do Han, and then if 10 minutes go by, I'll do the Trigun after.
Okay. Do you have to meet any requirements to pursue a lead, or is it just like that person, you know?
It is, yeah, it's essentially, it can be typically a single creature, item, or small location. The GM might allow different scope. You don't need to know the identity, purpose, or nature of the subject, but you do need to be aware of its existence. And it's just like, I just
Okay.
basically say, that's the thing I want to focus my attention towards.
Okay. Do you notice that a lot of them kind of like move out of the way? You can see the young girl that you had like seen before, the young revenant girl, kind of like is standing among the people. A larger gentleman kind of standing beside him, or her, who kind of like, she is among like the few people that don't kind of like move initially. You can see she kind of like brings her hand up to wave, but the gentleman that's like behind her seems to reach out and kind of like pull her back close to him.
To myself in Eldaron. I forgot how we said the name of that language is.
Yeah, I should clarify. These people, like, this is a new thing, like how they're acting right now.
This is not good.
The only person that
No, it is
understood
not,
that.
as I respond in Eldarin.
Wait, you respond?
I respond, no, it is not in Eldarin.
Kind of like whip my head back at you and... Okay. I'll say an Eldarin again. And then...
I don't feel safe, guys.
Why do you think they're acting this way? I'm gonna say an Eldarin again towards Corin.
Well, I imagine we're the new people in town. They distrust us, something new has happened. It only makes sense that they try and put some blame on us, and I don't entirely know if it's unwarranted.
While they're yammering over there in some foreign tongue, I would like to take the hide action.
Oh, are you just like not
That's right.
going in the temple, or are you just like, or are you just trying to hide from the people that are in the
We're
temple?
kind of being observed. I don't think you can hide.
Well, you can hide. You're just gonna be observed by all these people.
Yeah.
Unless you're
And then-
if you're not trying to hide from them, it wouldn't matter. But
Try to like go unnoticed.
okay. You kind of like slink back. You see the crowd and you're like, no. you kind of like slink back behind a
Think
one of the
back,
buildings.
I pull up my dark hood, and with my dark feathers, I try to like blend into the darkness a bit.
Okay. Go ahead and roll your stealth check.
Where are these?
You slip into the darkness, and those of you that are kind of like at the lip of this group kind of look around, and you notice that Genuine is nowhere to be seen. Genuine, are you just kind of like sticking to the outskirts, or are you
Yeah,
trying
I'm
to
not,
get
like-
in?
I'm just like sticking to the outskirts, just like keeping an eye on the situation. Like, if I could, I'd like to try to like eavesdrop, like if they're like talking about something or another, or I don't know if they're like dead silent.
Well, now they are. A lot of them quieted down when you guys walked up.
Oh, okay, well. I will
You
try
you
to
are
keep
kind
up
of like
my-
a safe distance away, but it seems as though no one has noticed you.
Okay.
However, kind of piercing the silence, as you can just hear this like this enraged voice kind of tear over the silence, startling a lot of the people in the crowds or otherwise, that just comes like belching over the silence, as you can hear the just this like agonized and enraged like yell come from within the temple chambers.
Looks like something dangerous might be in there. Are you prepared?
As I'll ever be.
I'll pull out my short bow.
Wishing
Just leave it at my hip.
I have my.
I'm just gonna look at the crowd, and like, I'm just gonna look at the crowd.
None of them are really
stand
saying
there.
anything, but you can see some people are like really scared.
And then actually, I won't say anything. Let's go in.
Genuine readies his cane.
You bring your heavy footsteps up the stone staircase, and with each step you hear the crows landing on every single. There seems to be no end to the dust crows as you kind of make your way up. Their red eyes glowing within the darkness. There's they're sets of six, peering at you as though they're staring at your every movement and intention, silent and observant. They're bird-like, and heads just almost like following you, like you ever seen those like an image parallax? Is that what it is? Where like the head doesn't like move at all, or it's like in perfect symmetry with the movement of the camera. You know what I mean?
They got the gyro.
Gyro,
thing.
yeah, kind of
That's
like
what
that, but less like their bodies moving and more just like they're unnaturally like beated on you. And as you're kind of like making your way up the steps, you can initially hear and feel the heat. The only warmth within the chamber, and it seems to be kind of like emanating out in like swaths. And it's almost this like stark contrast between like the otherwise like chill that's in the air, and this like strange like it's almost like an updraft of like fire heat, if I can like put that into perspective. Yet as you kind of make your way up and over the precipice of the temple flooring, you find yourself standing at the top of it, looking down an unimaginable scene. You notice that all the kilns in the room are barely burning the crystal, the shrine in the center of the room. The water has been still glows this like eminent light and is shedding this like brilliance across the chamber, though it seems to be a mix of this like murky black and radiant like white coloration. And within the cracked crystal, it's almost as if that within the dusk overtaking of the events that have transpired, it is glowing, as though it has regained a semblance of its like former like relatives or otherwise, and it is just emanating and seeping this like mist that is just kind of like lowly baked over the flooring of the entire chamber. Your eyes kind of wander to the source of whoever yelled, and you see sitting in front of the at the base of one of the staircases, hunched over and kind of like on his back and just cradling the now motionless body of what appears to be the Shrine Guardian. You notice that there is what looks to be all coloration from her skin has been drained away. A semblance of blood is dribbling down from the side of her mouth, as though something internal had injured her. And you notice that there are no outward like wounds. You notice that as well as the fact that there are and holding the Shrine Guardian in his arms is Han, who you notice now has just embers or otherwise like small flickering flames coming off of his like shoulders, as he's just like clutching the Shrine Guardian in his arm. How could this happen? She was fine. Perfect. I talked to her hours ago. Things changed. Why won't you wake up? Mrs. As he's just kind of like holding her. And as his helm kind of wanders, you notice the last ring of a footstep that's the last of you kind of enter onto the platform. You notice his head kind of turn up to you. And there's almost this like moment of like peering like dread that just wakes over you. This as though you can't see his visor is almost like completely black beside the until it seems to illuminate with this almost like building fire in what would be his eyes, as you just see this like dim reddish glow come from within his pupils beneath the helm, before you just hear the most hate-filled statement. You did this. I don't know what the hell you did. You're the only one that saw. What the hell did you do? As he's looking at you, Korn.
Merely asked her some questions. I did not do anything to her.
Bullshit. You're telling me you didn't do anything to her? The missus is dead. The Shrine Guardian's dead. The damn light's gone out. Nothing like this has happened. And the only person that's changed, the only new arrivals, the only variable I haven't kept track of, is you. You can see he gingerly kind of like sets her down before pulling himself up. And almost as if you can see these like huge, almost like plumes of smoke and embers kind of rising around his shoulders, as it's almost as if his entire form is threatening to like combust in flame.
If you don't believe me, you can ask the Deep Crows. They were there to witness it.
You can see he looks up at the the crows.
Speak then, you bloody birds. What the hell happened?
The one kind of, you notice that standing amongst them, they seem to be almost completely silent before a larger one lands on top of the large crystal. Its eyes, its head seems to be adorned with a collection of, you'd count about 12 eyes. And almost like as this one speaks, all of them within the chamber kind of intimately kind of chime their voice in.
This one came, spoke, told, revealed. It is true. Only conversation was held. The curiosity, the answers. The answers that she had hidden, she had buried, unearthed. Now spoken, reawoken. This one keen, this one.
As this one they all kind of like look to you.
Ebbed her curiosity like a stoke to a flame. Brought light to hidden secrets, memories meant to be buried. Her orders, her duty.
And as the silence kind of falls over the room, obviously you have no idea what the fuck you did to
Did you give her a fucking aneurysm, Alex?
Sorry, that's all there is to it. I don't know what the fuck you told her. I guess it doesn't matter. Nothing's gonna change now. You've snuffed out the light here. And once I'm done dealing with you, I don't know what the fuck the involvement these crows got, but I'm coming for all of them too. The rest of you lot.
I don't believe everything's over.
What the hell do you mean? She's dead. You got a way to
So
bring her
are we.
back. She's not a bloody revenant. At least she's not coming back. I don't know whatever sick fuck twisted fate to bring your ass back here. I don't know what kind of cruel goddamn joke this is. There's been hundreds of revenants before you. I haven't known them all, but none of them have made changes like this. Nothing like this has occurred. She's spoken with everyone, met every goddamn one, remembered their names, goddammit. But somehow meeting you, she's now dead.
I believe your anger is misguided. I don't think you are looking at this as you should. I spoke of her name, or at least what I believe to be her name, Ariel. You were there when I spoke it first. There's a lot of things that we don't know, and we don't know why she's dead currently. But I don't believe it was because of me. I believe it was because of what she found. There's nothing saying we can't find another option.
You're right. I was there. And she was alive. But the moment I wasn't, look at where we are.
You get the really big read right now that he is not really in a state of super big reason right now.
Mm-hmm.
What a bloody introduction. All I know is blood's been spilled. And someone's gotta pay for it. The lot that wasn't here. They can go. But you,
as he points one of his scimitars towards you, Corin.
you, like everything else of this crazy, goddamn unreasonable place, got a price to pay.
And killing me isn't that price. You already know that I house some knowledge. What's to say I can't house knowledge to bring her back?
Make a diplomacy check.
Is this a secret or?
Yeah, this is
I
secret.
forget.
Yo, we went from friendly to hostile in like one fucking
What's going on?
conversation, boys.
I don't know.
We
Alex,
roll
you-
initiative?
If I, well, no. If I, like, can I use a hero point on this? Like, because I don't know the rules.
You
so I
can.
don't know if I want to re-roll it, but like,
You can, but I guess that's up to you. Obviously, you don't know the result.
yeah, I don't.
I guess I would need to know.
So you can't use a hero point before you know the result of something? Or you have to use it before the result?
Well, the thing is, like, with secret rules, is you don't really know,
Is diplomacy a secret?
when you're persuading somebody, or trying to, like,
talk
dude.
him down for murdering you.
So it's kind of pointless on secret rolls.
Well, am I making a make an impression action?
This is a
that what I'm
request.
doing?
Oh,
It's a request. A
oh
request.
no, this wouldn't be. I guess I don't really use these like actions. I was putting it under the sense of like when you like lie to somebody, that's a secret role. This is kind of in the same sense of like persuade.
You're lying.
That I will say you, fine. You know, and I'll mention this once. You failed. But
Well, then I'll use a hero point to try and do it again.
You and your goddamn knowledge. I don't know what you said, but what you knew got killed. I'll offer you two choices. You and your friends. Either surrender or fight.
What did he
Careful.
say? He said, "Or fine."
or fight.
Surrender or fight.
Surrender or fight.
The surrender.
You get the feeling he. This was not something I expected would happen now. But
He accidentally walked into this. Whoops.
but it's not that you are being like not diplomatic, but
He's just not. He can't be reasoned with right now. He's a bit angry.
The angry boy.
he is extremely enraged, and to his understanding, it is whatever you said, or you did something that has led to this unfortunate circumstance. However, unintentional. You get the feeling that Han, especially now, is a very like eye for eye kind of situation. At least like this. and you get the feeling you don't have much time to decide. As you notice that the
How's the crowd reacting to this?
you notice that a lot of people are kind of starting to like back away. You I guess I should say you don't really know what the fuck's going on. Yeah, from where you're at, you're just kind of Genuine's just kind of like vibing in the background, completely.
Yeah, he's like trying to peer over some heads without being noticeable about it because he's so goddamn small.
If we surrender, will we die anyway?
I ain't got no bad blood with you. No, unless you secretly did something. I'm only working with what I know. And what I know, he did something, said something. They vouch for. I don't get them, but the only facts I know.
As he kind of looks down to the body as if he doesn't really want to say it.
Well, if you're gonna let the fires of anger turn you into nothing but broken ash, then I'm going to stand with my friend. You can let it burn you and corrupt you, but I stand steadfast.
I'm going to take a step between Corin and Han, and I'm going to say, listen, I know better than anyone else that anger makes you do some stupid things. So I suggest you calm down before we all do something that we're going to regret.
Genuine would like to try to sneak up to
Okay.
back up.
You don't have any cover, but I'll say that with the like darkness, you are technically, you have concealment to kind of sneak, so go ahead and make another stealth check.
Sneaky. We'll use the macro for sneak check.
Okay.
Corin in the house. Get it?
I do.
Can I have a diplomacy check coming out of Gowan?
Yes, of course. YNG Emerald, let's go.
Well, you're right. I haven't felt these flames in a long time. How brightly I burn. The light in my life's gone. So if I turn to ash, so be it. Don't hold this against me. But I respect your drive to stand by what you're doing. But what you're doing is standing between me. And I'm not gonna lie.
As he launches forward at Gowan in this like conflux of flame, and it is with that
Bro, I
we
thought
will
he
be
was human.
we will be ending this session of Scuffed Rolls Revived.
That's kind of big. We unlocked the secret boss in the
I
second
think-
episode. What did you do,
I
Alex?
think so.
What did you do? You gave her a fucking aneurysm. I
That's
asked
not Alex. Well, Alex didn't do anything.
Yeah, I'm not mad
Bro.
at Alex or anything. It's just like, yeah, you're
I
not.
figured something out quick.
Bro, this is the level 6 fucking boss that we were
At least
prepared for.
my understanding is I think she understood like who she was, and that like she communed and tried to figure out. She was the one that prodded more into it after I gave her the inkling of what it was she was looking for, and then something happened.
That's rough, buddy.
That's,
That's rough.
That is rough.
yo, that's rough, buddy.
Say that to him.
That's
as
just
he's
say
like,
that to him,
I-
yeah. Like,
holding the
sorry, bro.
board.
Like, we
I
can't
think
do
I
anything.
activated.
Headlight of his life.
I think I activated the fucking like end game, new game plus boss
know
way
when
too
you
early.
you know when you kill like the woman in like Dark Souls 3, and then
Yeah.
she turns into like this the dancing swords lady.
Yeah, in like Lothric, like the castle or whatever, before you fight whatever it is.
Oh. All right. Well, this has been an interesting turn in my plans. I guess we will. This is we will see you guys next week for where this is going.
Prepare for
Thank-
the TPK.
Thank you for tuning in for session 2 of Scuffed Rolls Revived.